Mic check. We good? Is this mic working? Let me know. Let me know if this mic working. If this mic not working, you know what I mean? We'll take the mics off and we'll do it. This is what happens when you do a live show, yo. No bull. This is what happens. Some guy still frozen. Garcia Vega hasn't show up. Okay, fact. All right, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's love. It's love. So yeah, we're gonna get into this 50 Cent, Papoose. And there's some things that people want me to address. Yo. And I told them this is season 13. No more Mr. Nice Guy. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all ready for this entertainment, we're gonna get right. Like I said, I'm gonna hook some guy up. He on TikTok with me live. So I guess while we waiting for some guy, let me take my warm-up off. Let me take my warm-up off for this one. I gotta take my warm-up off for this one. Do I need one? Okay, that oh, I thought I stepped on my dog. The Heat game just started. What will win one gorilla? Yo, come on, fam. Like, hey, yo, come on, fam. Yeah, you almost had me start talking like Drake in here. Hey, yo. So, first thing first. All right, what are we gonna do? I gotta undo this. Then we're gonna jump into. Okay, Garcia Vega here. Garcia Vega in the building. Hey, where's some guy just go? So Garcia Vega just joined. Garcia Vega here. Some guy was here. You know what I mean? We waiting for Madam Mysterious. We're gonna get this thing right. Look, I ain't doing the camera shit today, but you gonna hear what I gotta say, man. Yeah, you good. You don't gotta be on camera if you don't want to, you know. Yeah, the audio good. I'm about to hook you up to the mic. Hold on. Nah, y'all gonna get this work, man. I'm tired of this shit, man. Nah, we're gonna talk 50. We're gonna talk 50. Yeah, got some clout chasing ass niggas, boy. Who clout chasing? Y'all niggas is some clout chasing. Who clout chasing? Clout chasing, boy. Who clout chasing? Hey, I ain't been drinking either. Hey, they said that's the only way we can have a good show. Like, why y'all want to talk about 50 Cent? Hey, yo, they said that's the only way we can have a good show is if we drunk, yo. Disconnected. The only thing I like about 50 Cent is his TV show. Hey, yo, cut it out. Stop lying, yo. Stop lying. You capping right now. You capping. Anybody that say they just like 50 for his TV shows is capping. I said right now. No, we talking overall. What you got that you like? What's the last good 50 Cent song that you heard? Other than the song that he got on his TV show. Get the strap. Responding to nobody with music. Get the strap. He coming at all these rappers. And rappers just rapping about this nigga and he not even responding. Get the strap. Yo, you keep going in and out. I can't hear you, cuz. Hold on. Video going out, audio going out, jumping around like how to pay. Powering off. All right. Yeah, you go. Don't get into that. I'm saying, so look, don't miss my words and don't take what I'm saying out of context. I didn't say I don't like 50 Cent. I didn't say I don't like his music. I said the only thing that I like about him right now is his TV shows. Because the way he acting on social media, all the shit he doing, come on, bro. Like, it's no point. When you was rapping, I got that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, it's like, I don't know. Maybe he just at that time in his life, he getting older, midlife crisis. Maybe he just being entertained by this shit. You know what I'm saying? It could just be that too. Is it entertaining though? No, I'm saying you gotta think 50 just jailing off niggas right now. That's all he doing, yo. He just like the old head in the jail that been there for got like 10 in. You know what I'm saying? Wow. I seen the young boys coming in and he jailing off these niggas right now. Wow. Because his tactics and the way he going after everything is like, you ain't even going this hard on Ja Rule right now. It's like you just attacking. Like what's up with him and Papoose? Like what Papoose do to him? What you mean? Him and Pap had beef for a while now. For what though? What you mean? Just from trolling. That's what I'm saying. But 50 is the one starting the shit, bro. You posting shit. Pap not even that type of nigga to start trolling 50. Come on, man. If Pap saying some shit, that mean 50 through the first month, though. You already know that. What's wrong with throwing the first punch? But if I wasn't talking to you specifically, you know what I'm saying? What is the reason for you to even jump in the conversation? Okay, so if you're in a relationship with your female and 50 say something about your female, you're not gonna respond back. You're just gonna leave that to her to respond back. You don't have to answer. She should have to answer nothing. That's just like if a nigga get in an argument with the girl in the street, you gonna let the girl sit there and argue with a nigga and you right there? No, he said that's what's the name said. He said, no, I'm not. He said, don't answer back. He said, I'm gonna handle it. Who said that? Clarissa. He said, don't say nothing. I'm gonna handle it. I mean, as he should. He was supposed to do that. Yeah, this is rap beef. This got nothing to do with no fighting. Stop pointing at rap beef when everybody's rapping except for this nigga. It's not no rap beef. As a hater, bro, like for real, yo. This shit not even funny no more, yo. Like the whole Diddy shit, I get that. Your baby mom was involved in that. All right, cool. I give you that one. But everybody else, like, what's your problem with everybody else and what everybody else is doing? Nobody has nothing bad to say about this nigga, yo, until he say something about them. Now tell me I'm lying. I didn't. Hey, listen. Like, he always the one throwing the first stone, but then when the shit get too hot, he want to play victim. Like when he got shot, you was calling Ja Rule out on every song, right? Saying he was pussy. But Ja didn't shoot him.
But the niggas that they was running with shot him. And then you got to remember the whole Hit Factory situation when he got stabbed and Yayo was about to press charges and shit. That's why they were saying that's where the order of protection came from.
Oh man, that's not some guy. Some guy, send the request back up.
Than anybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody else, yo.
Let 6ix9ine have snitch allegations. Now you don't want to stand next to him. Let Young Thug have. Now you don't want to stand next to him. You just so-called just street nigga, live by the code type nigga. But you ain't even living up to who you say you are in the industry. Right?
Yeah.
You still a rapper. That's what I'm saying. You're starting all this beef. Niggas is coming at you lyrically and you have nothing to say.
But at the same time, you got to understand what kind of space that we're in. We're in a content space to where 50 is dominating the content space, and anybody who.
But he's really not. He's only dominating the space because, all right, he's just picking a different person every day now. If he wasn't doing that, nobody would be talking about him other than his TV shows.
But that's what I'm saying. He was not even talking to Pat Boost. Pat just started talking to him.
Because he posted something about his girl, bro. Like you got.
No, that was after Pat said something, cuz.
So what did Pat say to him?
He was like, "Yo, you gotta answer." But he like, "Nah, like you dance." Because I told you before it even happened. I said, "Yo, 50's going." He said already. He like, "Yo, I'm gonna answer back."
So all right. Look, so I see where you're going, and I get you. Not trying to cut you off. So somebody knock you the fuck out. And I'm telling you, like, yo, cuz, you got to get that nigga back. Now, you're going to start trolling me and getting mad at me because I'm telling the truth?
No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
All right, so what happened?
So, they going back and forth. He going back and forth with, what is it called? Let's Rap About It. He's 50's going at Let's Rap About It, right? And then 50 goes, he says, yo, all right, I heard what y'all had to say. I'm gonna answer back when I got time.
And it's crazy because Let's Rap About It just caught us straight because Jim is tied to that. Other than that, 50 he didn't have no problems with none of them because even Mano said he said 50 helped me earlier in my career. He was like, we ain't never had no beef. He even got on Vlad and said that shit. He was like, I don't got no beef with this nigga. Like he was like, it's basically just he was like, it ain't really serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you got
I don't know. I feel like this though. 50 is one of the biggest trolls in the hip hop industry. So anybody that like, if he's talking to somebody else and you try to join that conversation, 50's going to take shots at you. And if you can't handle that, then you shouldn't have brought it up, because again, we seen 50 do the same thing time and time again, yo. We seen it. Look at him going at Jay-Z right now. Like, how many times has he went at Jay-Z and Jay-Z never says nothing to him besides that first initial time? There's a way to beat 50. The way to beat 50, ignore him. Ignore him. You cannot complain. You cannot complain about getting into a fight with somebody, and then when he talk about, it's a line, right? It's a line. Some people cross it, some people don't. But you know the people who's gonna cross that line. And we've seen it time and time again. 50's willing to cross that line.
So why don't he cross that line to the studio and get in the booth?
He said he's gonna do it.
50 is literally 50. Nigga, what?
Hold up.
Beef for people?
But listen, again, if you go back and look on my Facebook,
everybody that you trolling and talking about is the same age as you, so it don't matter. You talk about everybody in their 40s and 50s.
Look, if you go back and look at what I posted on Facebook, right? I said this. I said, yo, 50 just said, I'm busy. I'm not going. I'll handle that when I handle that. I said this. I said, yo, 50's gonna get into the booth, and he gonna be like, you know what? Nah, hey, yo, Uncle Murder, handle this. Uncle Murder, go handle this. We know 50 for doing this. Like I said, yo, he doesn't change his moves. He doesn't change his move. And what the Uncle Murder do? He goes, this is them. So now, Veg, I'm gonna ask you, should they respond now?
Who? Or to Uncle Murder?
Yeah, he dissed them in the track.
Yeah, I feel that they should, because I mean they should have the same energy for anybody that's dissing him as they got for 50.
They ain't say nothing yet.
So maybe they waiting for. I don't know. What
Hey yo.
How I feel about this shit though.
So I want to ask I want to ask you, since we don't have a lady here is she? No, not like that. But no, I know you're into boxing, and I know you're in a relationship. And Garcia Vega asked me a question earlier, right? So, and I don't know if you know about that, what the situation is, but what we're talking about is the 50 and the Papoose situation. Clarissa Shields was getting ready to jump into the beef. Pap said, "Yo, fall back. I'm gonna handle this." Right? If he loses this battle, does that make him look weak in front of his girl?
Nah.
Can you explain?
It's about he's still doing his thing as a man and like handling it. I mean, like he's still doing what he's doing to try to protect her.
But
it's like if some dudes is messing with your girl in public, and it's like you step in to protect her, and you get jumped or something, you get knocked out. You can't be like, nah, make you look weak. It's like, nah, you did what you had to do. You know, like we ain't Steven Seagal, homie. You ain't gonna win every fight.
A perfect example, some guy now, not even to switch lanes, but even with the Remy and Easy to Block Captain situation, knock that nigga out. She still didn't stop fucking with that nigga.
Hold up. Hey yo, I love this is why we make a great tag team and a great trio, because you just segued me into where I was going with this. You see that? So some guy, what is the difference of me telling the woman that I'm with, like, yo, hold up. This is rap beef. You know what I'm saying? Is content. I'ma handle it, right? Now, that's just his girl. Somebody is touching your wife and playing with you in your face, and you knock him out, right? Now your wife is mad that this dude ain't as gangster as he want to be, so now she's soaking. Because if she was good with the nigga she was with, right, you wouldn't be trying to talk about Pap's relationship. You would just move on with that nigga that just got knocked out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was a good point. That was an excellent point.
I get them right sometimes.
I think, and just to piggyback off of what some guy said, I feel like it's just the fact that as a man that you're willing to stand up for your woman, no matter what the situation is. I feel like the outcome of the situation won't have any effect on how she looks at you after that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Only if you're dealing with like a young girl or like a hood rat or something like that. Like they care about reputation and shit like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A real woman, as long as she knows she got a real man that's willing to go to bat for her and not having her looking crazy, she's okay with that. Like some guy said, I'm not motherfucking John Claude Van Damme or motherfucking Mayweather. You know what I mean? So yeah, I might could beat a couple niggas up. A couple niggas might be able to whip my ass, but the fact that I'm willing to fight for you, you're gonna look at that overall anything. You know what I'm saying?
So the next thing I want to ask is this, right? In that kind of situation, who do you feel was the wrongest person in that whole situation? Like, who you feel like lit the what is it called? The fuse. Who you feel like lit the fuse for this whole situation to go to start right here where it is at right now?
Well, it's the same person who lights that fuse is 50 Cent. It's always him. He started the Ja Rule shit. He started all this shit. Almost every beef he ever been in, he started it.
Thank you, and I'm glad that you said that because I was just saying that before you came on. 50 always throws the first punch, whether it's right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? He always throws the first punch. So it's like that's why he had that's why everybody calls him the industry bully, because it's like I said, with the Ja Rule shit, I understand that because that was like street beef that kind of spilled into music, and it just so happened to involve another successful rap artist like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, other than that, it's like he starts everything. Yo, nobody's talking about him or bringing him up unless they talking about his first album that went fucking 10 times platinum or his TV shows. Other than that, nobody's looking. Oh shit, when the next 50 Cent album coming out? Oh yo, you heard that verse from 50? Like nobody's speaking of him in that manner no more.
It's just the antics. That's all he do.
Exactly.
He tried to do the same thing. Game just wasn't as good at it. But it's just, and like I said, you already know how I feel about it, though. It's old at this one. It's all.
Game did it the wrong way. Like you don't do that to the niggas that helped you get to where you are. It's like he got it. It's like he tried to attack them niggas from the inside, and that was dumb as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like
it started with 50 again too. I mean, I think he was a little right on it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I agree. That's one of the as a West Coaster, I love the game and all that. But I think like 50 was right on that whole situation. They lost the beef. They single-handedly got done up by one dude. But like he roasted that whole crew. But
he definitely was Ice Cube in that situation, yo. And they was definitely
50 was right to like sort of lose, you know, like, hey, want this dude out, because it's like once you hear the story, you just like, nah, 50 was right. You know what I mean? Like he helped you. Like you gave all this credit to Dre, but he helped your career more than Dre at that moment in time. Exactly. You know, like
you turn around years later and then say Kanye did more for you in 2 years than Dre did for your whole
not
career.
Even that. During the situation, that's where it started. During the whole situation, he did the same thing. Like because like, you know, you hear the story of 50, like was saying, it started when like Game was on this one interview and they asked him like, hey man, you know, who do you give credit to about who helped you out the most? And he was like, oh yeah, he threw out a bunch of names. He didn't even name 50. And it was just like, nah, like 50 gave you some of your best hits, some of your best music at that moment in time was 100% due to 50.
Can I cook? Can I cook real quick?
Hold on.
Get Richard before you start cooking.
So
just a quick point. He gave him 2 tracks that should have been on the Massacre that he was featuring the Game on, but he put them on Game's album, and they were like the 2 best tracks. I'm like, dude, if those tracks would have been on the Massacre would have been a classic too.
And now, and now to add on what you're saying, that's one thing that I do love and respect about 50 though. Like he will, if he sees the potential, and he sees he got it, he will put another artist before himself. Yeah, because speaking of the Massacre album, he purposely put the G Unit album out before the Massacre album because he know if I would have put the Massacre album out, you know what I'm saying, and this shit flopped, now the G Unit album can't come out. So he knows, okay, fuck it, I was supposed to put these songs on the Massacre, but I got this new artist from the West Coast. I'm really trying to help him blow up and be successful. So now I'm gonna give him these songs that I could have kept for myself to help this man blow up. And this nigga, now you showing me your disloyalty. Yeah, you gotta get the fuck up out of here, yo.
Hate It or Love It was supposed to be on the Massacre, and This Is How We Do. Higher to be on the Massacre, and he put him on Game's album. And I was like, man, like the Massacre would have been a classic with those tracks on there, dog.
Yeah,
like those.
It was a solid album, but yeah, them songs definitely would have
kicked it over.
Hey yo, can I cook? Can I cook? Listen. We're gonna take it back to the first thing, right? Let's take it back to the first thing. So Pap and Remy, right? 50 got introduced to that situation the same way everybody else got introduced to that situation when Remy Ma put it onto the internet space. Once you put something out about your relationship as a married couple, you put your shit in the atmosphere like you don't care that you just got caught cheating with this wanna be me. So you got caught cheating with this wannabe me. I knock him out. Nobody know about it, but you take it to the internet. So now everybody just supposed to act like they don't see it. Everybody's just supposed to act like they don't see it. So if I turn it into comedy, oh, I'm just being a bully. I'm just being 50. No, you put that out there for me to comment on that. You put your relationship out there for me to comment on that. Now, once that happens, and I say what I say, what? Hold up. I'll let y'all cook. Hold up. Once you put that out there, I am allowed. Once it is on the internet, I am allowed, and everybody else is allowed to say whatever they want about your situation because you put it out there. Hold on. That's why I said, let me finish. We're going to talk about it. I heard everything y'all said. Now check me out. Now we're going to get into the Ja Rule situation, right? Ja Rule situation. Ja Rule was the first one to throw the punch at 50 because why? Because 50 was only talking to somebody that took your chain. So now I'm supposed to beat the dude up that I'm cool with, not knowing that he just took your chain. So now you want to try to diss me and swing on me and do all this, but I'm being a bully when I tell you, oh yeah, you started the beef, I'm gonna finish it. I'm just saying, yeah. If you understand the cycle, if you understand this cycle of how it's going. Now let's bring it back to the game, right? We talked about the game. Y'all heard them talk about the game, right? The game. 50 and them was cool. What does the game do? The game goes across seas and start dissing people in the States. So now 50 get the call, hey yo, what's going on with your man? Hey yo, I don't know what happened. Hey yo, your man overseas dissing me. Oh, word, I'ma holler at him. Boom, we hang up. As soon as I call you and say da 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 da. Now the next thing you do is jump on stage and start talking about F50. Come on, man. I am cooking. Yo, this is yo. You said I can't do this when I'm drunk. Are you kidding me?
We're not saying that he's a bully in every situation.
I'm yo, man. Yo, what? What? I'm telling you, man. I'll be cooking. We drink to have fun, baby. We drink to have fun. We could do this. We could do this like it's nothing.
Where he probably wasn't the bully, but we talking about the current shit. The current shit. Now you just picking on motherfuckers, man. Mm-hmm. You just seeing some shit on social media and saying, okay, I'm gonna fuck with NJ Trey Pound 38 today, and then I'm gonna go to some guy tomorrow, and then I'm gonna get Garcia Vega tomorrow the next day.
Can you capitalize off it? Can you capitalize off it? Like he said, anytime he does diss somebody or say somebody's name, that's an alley-oop for you, yo. That is an alley-oop for you.
Who it is, depending on who it is, because you got to think about it. If he's doing that to somebody that's hotter than him right now in music, it's not an alley-oop for them.
But that's for his benefit. You get what I'm saying?
If he's doing that to like NBA Youngboy or somebody like that, that's not an alley-oop to them. He's NBA Youngboy is just as hot as 50 was at 50's height. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but again, check this out, right? When 50 wouldn't dish NBA Youngboy, you know what he would do? He would be cool with him. He'll be cool with him because he got no beef. Now let NBA Youngboy come sideways at him.
Until some allegations come up, and then now he's not going to want to stand next to him, just like he did with 6ix9ine.
Exactly.
My whole thing is he's expect this undying loyalty from motherfuckers, but he don't have the same loyalty for the people that he expected from. Now we going to the Lloyd Banks situation. Now let me cook. We going to the Lloyd Banks situation. I've been your little brother. I've been the best rapper in your whole crew for years. My dad died. I'm telling you, I want to take a break from music, and you telling me like, oh, nah, yo, you gotta get back to work. When you tripping over, you didn't even like that nigga. Who says that to somebody whose dad just died? Whether you had a good relationship, bad relationship, in between relationship, that's some insensitive shit to say, but this is coming from a nigga who didn't have parents until he was 8 years old. So I get it, but it still don't make it right.
He get up there and treat his whole crew like goddamn little boys because they didn't want to wear those ugly ass. They didn't want to wear those ugly ass G-Unit shoes and shit. You know what I mean?
Yayo shot up a whole nigga's house. Yayo got his whole mom's house shot up over smacking niggas that you had beef with. Yayo didn't have no beef with Jimmy Hitchman. You had beef with Jimmy Hitchman. Yeah. You had beef with Jimmy Hitchman. You know what I'm saying? This nigga catch the young boy slipping, smack him up. Now his mom's house is getting shot up. And then what? Maybe a couple months later, it's footage of you slamming this nigga all in the bushes. The same nigga that just rode for you. You treat this nigga like a little bitch on camera in front of everybody, bro. Come on, man. I'm just supposed to take it because you're the nigga that changed my life. I'm just supposed to tell a grown ass man, but I'm just supposed to take it.
I'm saying, man, like you heard about how he would talk with those dudes about. Remember when he was telling that story about how they didn't want to wear the G-Unit shoes, so he gonna send them down like, oh, I'm taking all y'all bonuses and shit like that. It's like, nigga, how you talking to these niggas like they stepchildren and shit?
Well, he was right with that. He's right with that. He's right with that because if you buy, you spending money at losing time. You spending money at losing time.
No, I'm not saying he's right. No, he was right. It's about how you handle it though. Like these other grown ass men, like I said, you don't teach them, you don't treat them like stepchildren. Like he was doing that shit with Lloyd Banks. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the problem with niggas when they get a little bit of power. I'm sorry, I'm calling us all out on that one. Niggas get a little bit of power, nigga, everybody will act like shit.
You know, everybody says the same thing about 50. They says 50 has the he got the big brother syndrome. Like if you don't want to be under him, like he don't want nobody to stand next to him.
Mm-hmm.
He wants everybody to stand under him and be soldiers for him. You know what I'm saying? So how am I ever gonna grow if you always try to keep me like that?
And let's be real. That nigga never treated him like that. Let's be real. Oh, because it was bigger than him, and it was his boss. But he never
been on me. So he do respect his higher ups. That's another thing I can say about him. He respects his higher ups like that.
Anybody under him, he'd treat him like shit. And it's like, no, nigga, like you, I get it, nigga, but like. On some level, they tell the truth, nigga. No, I wouldn't want to wear those ugly ass G-Unit shoes either, nigga. Tell Reebok to make some better shit.
Dr. Dre had
Hey, yo, cut it out, yo. Cut it out.
Dr. Dre had all type of allegations, being a deadbeat dad, his daughter's living on the street, and he's damn near a billionaire. 50 never not stood next to that nigga, though.
Through all the fuckery, got nothing to say, but
now let you hit that Trey Pound 38. You could have killed the nigga for 50, yo. Let some fake paperwork come floating around. Oh, y'all can't fuck with Trey no more. Yeah, that nigga's a rat. But it's been speculation that you told on motherfuckers for years.
Yo, if it was like that, he would not mess with Who Kid.
But Who Kid is different. Who Kid is just like DJ Clue. He's not a street nigga. He's just somebody that's in the music business, so it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's like so he gonna treat Who Kid like a civilian. If something happened and Who Kid told, 50 wouldn't be mad at Who Kid. Because Who Kid is not portraying himself to be a gangster. And I think the only reason with the 6ix9ine situation, because 6ix9ine was portraying himself to be a certain way. So good that niggas started believing that shit, like, oh shit, this little Spanish nigga might really be like that. And they come to find out he wasn't. So it's like, okay, damn, now this is gonna fuck up my whole brand. Because no matter what, everybody knows me as a gangster rapper. You know what I'm saying? So I can't stand next to this nigga and you talking about you snitching. You know what I mean? Like,
so okay. So if the image of a gangster rapper means so much, right? Why not?
That's my point. Where's the same loyalty that he asked for from the people that's next to him? Why don't he give that same loyalty back in return? And another, he never had nothing good to say about nobody, bro.
Because let's be real, you can sit here and yeah, 50 was the main driving force on some level, but a lot of your success, a lot of your bread came from that crew. They may not have been as successful as you wanted them to be, but like.
And you think Banks wasn't in that studio throwing 50 a few bars? You think Yayo wasn't in there throwing a nigga a few bars? Banks probably ain't give him a hook or two. The same way he was helping niggas, they was helping him too. So now I have to be under you for the rest of my life just because you say, come on, yo, you're being my crew.
Hey yo, who Ja Rule ever put on?
Nah, I can't even say Mike Geronimo because Mike Geronimo kind of put him on.
Okay, what his song did Ja Rule give somebody to put them on and make them a star?
To make him a star. I mean, he's giving people his songs, but
he tried.
I know Christina Milian. That was his song. That every little thing that we do, that was his song. Yeah.
He was on that song?
That was his song. And he gave Can I Get It to Jay-Z. That was his song too.
He was on that song?
What? Every little thing that you do? Yeah, he rapped
between me and you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he gave it to her though. He gave it to her. You know what I'm saying? 50 gave Game How We Do, but he was still on the song. He still gave it to him.
Yo, man. 50 created.
So if I give you a car, I can't ride in the car with you just because I gave you the car. I can't never get a ride.
Ooh, you see what you're doing? No. What you're doing is this. This is what you're doing. No. What you need to, how you should have said it is, if I give you a car, that don't mean every time I want to drive it, I can just come over and take it.
Yeah, that's true, but you still
how does that apply?
You still contributed to somebody, to giving something that somebody needed. So you said a new artist needed a hit record. You said he never did. I just proved to you that he did. And he put Cadillac Tie on, Black Child. He had niggas with him too. They didn't blow up.
So Irv and them didn't have nothing to do with that?
They was on the same crew. That's what I'm saying. The unit blew up way more than Murder Inc. And then that's
we can't even say that for real. We can't even say that. Like, nah, we can say that. Yeah. No, never mind. I was gonna say G Unit really blew up. No, they had
don't get it twisted. Murder Inc. was a hell of a label, and Murder Inc. had hella success, but not on a hip hop level like how G Unit did. You got to think about it. Other than Ja Rule, there was no successful rappers on Murder Inc. Ashanti and Lloyd held them down after that. They had all the hits after Ja Rule slowed down.
Straight up.
This shit funny as hell, yo.
The point still remain though, Trey.
Nah, it's good. We having some listening, but look, check this out. We about to switch gears.
He ain't right, man.
Nah, 50.
We get a light shot.
50-50. Hey, yeah, but look, we about to get into this next topic, though.
You're not get along with a son that look just like him like that, nigga. That nigga ain't right.
And yo, and then you notice it's a pattern. That's how you know 50 is a nigga with daddy issues, bro. Because every show that he has, it's always his father killing the son or the son killing the father. You notice that? Look at the Power episode.
This guy.
Telling you, yo.
He got a conspiracy theory or something here. Hey, yo, so look, we're gonna jump into a real quick topic. Like I said, we don't got no women here, so again, this is how we're gonna have to do this. I tried to think of it in a different way, but this is how we're gonna think about it. Yo, so we all know the situation with Cardi B and Offset. We know that they're done. We know that Cardi B just had a baby with Stephon Diggs. We know Stephon Diggs is going through this whole little essay thing with his chef. So I want to ask the fellas this question. Offset gets caught with Selena Powell in bed while he sleeps. Have you ever been caught slipping like that?
Nah, never, man.
Boss man D-Lo also.
Never, man. Never get caught slipping like that, man.
Boss man D-Lo got caught slipping like that too. You ain't never get put to sleep?
No, somebody might have told that they was with me, but as far as like the actual physical proof, that never happened. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might have been like, oh yeah, well, you know, I fucked your boyfriend the other night, but it wasn't like no picture or no video or nothing to back the story up with.
So you just didn't have no evidence.
Yeah, just wasn't no. I mean, my girl still believed in shit because she knew the girls that told her that. She was actually kind of friends with the girls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if 3 girls come up to your girl like, yeah, yo, we all fucked your boyfriend. Like, she's gonna believe that. It's like, why all 3 of y'all have a reason to lie to me? You know what I'm saying? I can see one chick lying, but all 3 of y'all, like, hell no. So even if it wasn't true, she would have believed that shit anyway.
So, all right. Now, I want to ask this. Some guy, I need your answer too. Do you think it's okay for females to do shit like that to men?
Like what?
Y'all smash, he fall asleep, she takes a picture and posts the picture.
mean, you doing your dirt. You can't get mad that somebody else is. You know, you can't get mad at the person you doing your dirt with dirty also. You know what I mean?
But you can even look at that as borderline essay,
That's where I was going.
Because somebody's taking a picture of you without your knowledge or your consent. Yeah, somebody can take a picture of you and you be like, yo, you better not put that shit out on suite. But now you don't even have that. You can't even give that rebuttal because you don't even know. And then a month later, you scrolling through Instagram and you see yourself in a girl's bed like, yo, what the fuck?
Shouldn't have been there.
But if the shoe was on the other foot, if it was him taking a picture of her and posting it.
Yeah, she would have been suing, saying, oh, yeah, that's defamation, and he must have drugged me, and I didn't even know this was going on, and it would have been a whole big thing.
You right, because we treat women as a different standard, to a different standard. We let them get away with shit that we wouldn't let men, especially if they fine. But that's not their fault. That's ours. You know what I mean?
Because men put the pussy on a pedestal, man. That's why
we let that shit get away. You know what I mean?
On a pedestal, man. Because when they come out of SA, they're not putting that dick on the pedestal. They're going to be Me Too movement together.
I'll see you next time.
But men don't do that. They're going
to be like, oh, yeah, that nigga got a rape charge. Oh, yeah, I ain't fucking with that nigga, yo. He could be a whole lie. Like, look at the Tupac situation. He wasn't even in the room when that shit happened to the girl. And he went to jail for that shit, yo.
He went to jail more because he facilitated it. You know what I mean? And this
remember the nigga that he was around.
Let me touch on this one. This goes into something that me and Trey talked about, like about other things, and it's like y'all gotta watch not just the things that you do personally, but you can't be. You gotta watch the cats who you dealing with and who you let within your circle.
But it's like this, I mean? It's like this. I introduce you to a girl, right? I introduce you to a girl. I spin off and go do my thing. You raped the girl. I facilitated that?
Yes.
Yes. On some level. Like if you let's say like you know let's
but I've never known something. Let me
explain the situation. This is how it is. Let's say like you know when Brackington get big and shit like that. So let's say like I'm just some underling or something in your crew and you the big boss man, you get the penthouse, you get all this. You bring me around this woman and shit like that. You know what I mean? You put us in that situation. You paying for the drinks. You paying for all that shit. And yeah, you did facilitate it.
But it wasn't that type of situation because the nigga that he was dealing with had money too. The nigga
who the star though? Who she come to see? She came to see Pac. She didn't come to see this other nigga. So yeah, you facilitated. And it's just like you might not believe, and just like I tell Trey all the time. But once she left, y'all want to like we can't argue. We can't always expect people to interpret things the way we interpret them.
Definitely.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm like, you gotta stay clean. You gotta stay away from some of these cats. You know what I mean? Because that situation, I think Pac facilitated it? Nah, maybe not. Maybe not. But here's the thing: they made that case though. They made that case, and on some level, he shouldn't have been dealing with these dudes.
Exactly.
Pac wasn't a street dude. You was not in your element.
Hold up, before you go, because I see you about to go. Before you get off on something else, that's what I was going to say. If you watch the Biggie movie, if Pac would have listened to Biggie once he seen who he was hanging around with, he was like, stop hanging with them dudes. Pac didn't listen to Biggie, and then look what happened. Yeah, he ends up getting shot by those same niggas, and then tried to blame Biggie, and Biggie warned him about them niggas, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, so some guy, great, what's the name? Cuz, great, what's the name also? Hey, please don't take this no type of way. I am a chat nigga. I fucks with you heavy, but I gotta explain it so that way, like, I feel like it'll hit home because some guy is saying it, and Cuz put out a situation to where I felt like it adapted to your situation. So DJ Academics has two homeboys over, right? He calls a girl over. He gets drunk. He goes upstairs. He falls asleep. The girl's still downstairs with the homies. They drinking. She wants to have a threesome. They have a threesome with her. Next thing you know, guess what happens? She says she's been SA'd, and now everybody's in trouble. and it's just because she may have said she wanted it in the beginning, but once she says, "Yo, all right, that's enough. I'm done," you're supposed to get up out of that.
Yeah.
And not an extra pump, not another stroke. You immediately you're supposed to jump out, because if you keep going.
And anybody that does that in this day and time, especially after the Me Too movement and all that shit, you a dumb motherfucker, because you already know a chick might even put you in that situation just to set your ass up.
Okay, but this is another thing that some that
paid for.
But this is another thing that some guy was saying. Again, Kai Cenat, love you also. You know what I mean? And I hope that things get better for you. I know you've been dealing with a lot of mental health issues and stuff like that. And I understand that's where fame and certain allegations can come to. Where he had a party. Again, somebody gets drunk, has sex at his party. He didn't even know this girl was gonna be there. But because it happened at his party, he got hit with it.
You can be on the hook.
Because he, like he said, like we were saying, it's because you facilitated it, and because you're the bigger name, that's who they're gonna come after. Cause you get what I'm saying? It's not fair. It's not fair. Trust me, I believe it's not fair, but it's happening, yo.
And that's exactly what I was going to get at. Like when it comes to the law don't always deal with morals sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So like morally, you might have not been responsible for the situation, but legally, they're gonna make sure you was responsible for the situation. Because they're gonna look at it like, okay, you were the one that made the introduction. So without this introduction, this action couldn't even took place in your residence. You know what I mean? So that's why they leave you liable for shit like that. You know what I mean? That happened on your property. So you know what I mean? So if he owns that house or that's his apartment, he paying rent there, legally he is responsible for that shit. You know what I mean? Even though he was drunk and didn't even know what the fuck was going on. Because morally, you're not responsible for the actions of another man. If I introduce you to a girl and you kill that girl, I'm not responsible for that murder. Morally, you know what I mean? But legally, they're going to look at it like, okay, you played a part in that because you introduced them.
Okay, we can't say murder or we can't say that on TikTok.
Oh, unalive. Yeah, if you unalive someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you unalive someone, you know what I mean? Morally, I'm not responsible for that shit. But legally, they're going to say I'm responsible because, you know, we all know what the legal system is about. It's all about money at the end of the day.
But so but like on some level, it's not really about money. It's about like, hey man, it's about you thinking about your actions. So you can be held liable, like I said, because I noticed that I got you know, experience in it. You can be held liable if what happened is reasonably foreseeable.
Yeah,
you know, if it's reasonable foreseeable, you put a bunch of women in there, a bunch of women with a bunch of dudes who you know, the horny scumbags and shit like that, were around a bunch of alcohol and drugs and stuff. You know that could probably happen. And so the outcome of one of these dudes doing some dumb shit like that is actually reasonably foreseeable.
Okay,
so that's what I'm trying to tell cats. Like you can't operate like when you get money, when you get fame, you can't operate like you're broke.
Yeah, you're right.
You can't operate like you're broke.
But at the end of the day, in the defense of the people that might have facilitated the issue, it's like this. If I know this nigga 20 plus years, he done been around many women, we done had parties and all that shit. Nobody never came back and said anything like, he trying to touch me funny, anything, you know what I mean? To make you even think like, okay, I can't have him around a whole bunch of girls, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you have a homeboy that you know, he done had allegations since fucking middle school and shit like that, that's the nigga that you don't want to have around, but somebody that you don't have no bad feelings about or whatever, you gonna just let that nigga come in your crib like that's my man, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's how people get caught up in these situations because they're not even thinking that something like that could go wrong because they're looking at I know this nigga like he ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's like so they feel they're familiar with the person enough to where, but you know, motherfuckers change.
The smart thing to do is like, hey, on some real shit. The smart thing to do is like if you want to throw an event, you don't throw it. Have somebody else throw it for you. Have a club host it for you. Have somebody else so they on the hook for it.
Or have the NDAs at the door. Have them NDAs at the door ready to sign. If you don't want to sign the NDA, you can't come in.
Yeah, you know, like you gotta protect yourself. Like, we said that back in that episode where we talked about with that you know, me and Trey, we were talking about that dude from the NFL who the girl lied about being married. Remember that, Trey?
Yep.
And I was like, you can't conduct yourself. He could have ran a background check on her. There's companies where you could just show them, hey man, show me a picture. Give me her Instagram account. I'll find out everything about her. This shit would cost like $300. But the dude don't want to do that. He would have found out she was married.
You could even pay somebody close to her to find out her information.
That's true
Man, he
too.
could have paid a couple $100 to get that done, but he won't do that. But I guarantee you, he was going raw in there though. That's what I'm saying. Like, you gas is dumb. Like, you stick your thing in there raw up in this woman, but you won't. But you know, that whole situation was avoidable.
Mm-hmm.
Now his whole career gone, everything gone for dealing for a situation that was reasonably foreseeable. I blame the little brother too. And like why? Like I blame the little brother too. Why you out here fighting with these dudes? Why you opening the door out here throwing blows with them and stuff like that? You put your own brother in that situation for being dumb. You ain't got nothing to prove to these cats. Four dudes knock on the door right now asking for my brother. Hey, what you need him for? Like, oh, they don't want to tell me. Like, all right, well, y'all can wait out there then. I'm gonna go back to watching TV. Y'all want to be dumb? Be dumb on the goddamn porch then. You know, like, what am I gonna go out there tussling with you for? You brother a millionaire. You in his big ass house. What you up in here fist fighting with him for?
But what I was gonna say, like, you have some people, because I know in North Carolina, because that's where I'm at right now. I'm in North Carolina, right? So that they have this law to where if you're married. Mm-hmm. And you basically have sex with somebody, the person that you cheated with, and you're like your spouse can sue you and your mistress, basically. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people in the state, what they'll do, they'll act like they're separated from the person that they're actually married to. They'll start dating somebody else, get serious with them, and then now their wife or their husband comes from out of nowhere saying, "Oh, this person's been having an adulterous relationship with my husband or my wife." Now got them in court, and now the spouse that cheated has to pay, and the mistress has to pay too. Mm-hmm. That's just called the jump off law. I mean, that's what they coined it as. I forgot the law of that shit. They try to do that shit with Fantasia back in the day. But they found out that the husband and wife was in cahoots, and they ended up having to pay Fantasia for that shit.
Yeah, man. It's like, you gotta, I guess my whole thing is this. I'm getting tired because you hear a lot of these stories. It's like a lot of young dudes get rich and they be like so quick to throw their own money away, my dude. It's just like, what do we say, Trey? You ain't gonna never be clean when you deal with dirty people.
Yo, that's a fact.
You ain't gonna never. So you gotta leave some of that shit behind, dude. Like y'all getting these dudes getting generational wealth taken away from them. Right. Because you didn't want to take some time to be like, hey man, nah. I'm a millionaire now. I can't just be dealing with any woman because she's fine. Let me background check her real quick. You know what I mean? It's all, I could have saved that dude whole career right there. It said, oh no, you still married. You see, I ain't dealing with you no more. Same deal too. I'll be like, if that were me, like I said, I still blame the brother. I never forgive him for that one. Fuck you, open the door for it. Out there fighting with him, and now I got to pull my gun out, and now I'm in court throwing all this lawyer money away and shit.
Man,
decisions, man.
And it was a dumb one. Like, what you out here? It's just the whole shit was the whole thing was just it smelled it didn't smell right. The whole thing, 4 dudes coming looking for your brother. They wearing hoodies and stuff, and won't answer why they at the door. Well. Here, you either tell me why you here, or you gonna be explaining why you're here to the cops. Call the cops. What you gonna sit out here and handle it for? Just dumb, dude. Like we gotta stop. Like stop with this. Like I'm gonna get into a little bit of a side point because it got me. Can I do that, Trey?
Go ahead, do your thing. I'm listening.
Like, look. Black people who didn't grow up in the streets, stop bringing street logic to things that don't have it. I see this shit too much. Like, if you at work, don't be like, and you see something, nigga, snitch. Don't be like, oh, I ain't snitching. Like, no, hold on, you ain't in no gang. Nigga. What do you mean you ain't snitching? That's street nigga shit. That's between them.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the most that might happen to the person, they might get fired, but they're not going to jail.
But you gonna get fired. Like let's say, let me give you an example. At my job, if I walk by and I see Vague stealing something, there's cameras everywhere. I see him stealing something. and I don't say nothing, they gonna pull me in HR too. Like, why didn't you say nothing? And what you gonna be like? I ain't no snitch. And now you losing your job to protect a stranger.
Look, I'm gonna ask my co-host. Yo, so if you tell on somebody at work, is that snitching?
Nope. I ain't no gang member. I ain't no gang.
If you tell on somebody at work, is that snitching?
Nope.
No, you just a worker. You see something happen at work that they say if you see something happen, report it. Like, you know, the person might get fired, but they ain't gonna really go to jail for the shit.
I ain't the boss or supervisor. I got to do this shit.
Because they ain't saying nothing.
And then they find out, and you gonna be losing. I gotta come home to my wife and tell her I ain't got a job
because you didn't want to snitch.
I ain't no snitch. So walk in there and get paid. Like, hey, I gotta call one job.
Like, hey, yo, I lost my job, and I may not be able to pay my bills, but I ain't snitch.
He said if they both get fired, he was like, oh yeah, he's like, that nigga gotta go there.
That's what's going on. But I bring that up because like I see it too much to where like we bring this street logic into like the workspace and it don't happen, and it's just like, look, man,
it's funny that you say that.
Go ahead, sorry.
It's funny that you say that because I used to say that at work all the time. I said, when you at work, I said, it ain't snitching because ain't nobody going to jail. Yo, so like, if you choose to do some dumb shit at work, and now my job is in jeopardy over your dumbass decision, I'm telling on you. I give a fuck. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm ready to get paid because it's like real shit, dude. Like, and I see this shit happen too much. I see it happen at my job.
We wasn't both stealing from the warehouse. You was stealing from the warehouse, nigga. Not me.
Exactly, my dude. So now, like I said, man, stop black people. We gotta stop that shit. Because guess what? Everybody else will snitch on you. Like, you need to handle it like that. You gotta react the same way. If somebody say some dumb stuff, you need to go to HR, homie. Like, don't be like, nah, I ain't no snitch. Go to HR, because if you say some dumb stuff, they be right there snitching on your black ass.
It's a perfect example. I'm glad we're talking about the whole 50 Cent thing, because 50 is a perfect example of that. He's not going to handle a street situation the same way he would handle a corporate situation. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up. It's different situations. I give it like say what you want to say about 50. That dude's smart.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That dude is super intelligent.
Absolutely.
He's definitely
he know how to handle certain situations. I'm saying, like, nah, it's a different game. You know, but like too many of us, we say, and black people, stop doing this too. If you find something, don't stop thinking everything's a come up, because a lot of times, like especially like, you got to know the laws in your state. I see this too much happen too, to where cats will like find something, or they might get like overpaid on like a transaction by like thousands of dollars. They're like, no, that's a hookup. Like, no, that's a theft. They overpay you, it ain't your money. It's still not yours. Stop thinking everything's a hookup and you just gonna go to court. Nah, that's a hookup. Nah, you gonna be in jail with a felony because so I see that shit happen too much.
I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn the hard way during tax time one year.
Mm-hmm. They paid you too much, huh?
$3,000 overpayment.
Yep. They gonna take it, and you ain't gonna be like, I ain't gonna pay it.
No, so look, so
you gonna go to jail.
Look, so I cashed the check, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realize that I got audited until like the next year. Mm-hmm. So they was like, yeah, you know that money that you got from income tax last year. They was like, you got to pay that all back. Y'all was mad as hell, you know?
Man.
Like almost $2,000 out of the return that I was getting that year had to be deducted. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn.
All right, some guy, you brought up a great topic, so I want to ask you this question, and this is perfect for like I said, this is if you watching on Facebook, or you must be watching. I mean, not Facebook, on YouTube. This is why we good. There's no alcohol involved, but check this out. Some guy, you said something about people being so invested into the gangster mentality, right? So now that this whole thing takes a whole different turn with Young Thug, all these so-called gangster rappers are saying F the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I definitely want to talk about that. You say, how do we feel about that?
yeah.
All right, some guy, I want to hear your take on this first, because I think I might be a little long-winded.
Nah, go first, because I want to hear yours.
All right. So how do I feel about people saying fuck the streets? I feel like it's bullshit because at the end of the day, no, I'm saying it's only because of who's saying it. If you were never a part of the streets at all, and you never became a millionaire off of rapping about the street lifestyle, about the shit that you were doing, all this fucking street shit came up when the YSL Rico came down. Nobody was saying fuck the streets before that.
Fuck the streets,
They were the same people. They were the same people saying, "Oh yeah, snitches kill all rats and all this shit." So how y'all went from kill all rats to fuck the streets now? Because we found out you were snitching, and we found out you tried to crucify this nigga Gunner because he took a fucking plea and said YSL was a gang, and you've been telling it already. You told years before that from a whole different situation. You know what I mean? So you were still you told, and you still sat there trying to act like you was a stand up nigga that whole time and trying to fucking put somebody else under the gun. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's Atlanta just trying to protect Atlanta because they feel like, damn, if all these rappers in Atlanta lose their credibility, niggas ain't gonna be fucking with us on the music scene like that. But I feel like it ain't right though. You should, if it's fuck the streets, it should always be fuck the streets. Not let me become a millionaire. Now I get in trouble and now I want to say fuck the streets. You had your whole life to say that.
Nah, but yo, it's always about what? Getting out.
Oh no.
So like, it's fuck the streets, but the streets ain't gonna do shit for
But
you.
Rob, but when they made it out, but they still choose to do street activity. That's the dumb shit. That's what I'm saying. Young Thug and them they still have Woody going on hits. They still have Woody shooting shit up. And this nigga could have been like, nah, bro, I'm gonna make you a part of my label to where it's like, okay, now you the fucking president of YSL. You don't gotta go out there and shoot no guns and shit for me. But as soon as they found out, like, oh shit, this nigga might tell on me. Oh, now it's fuck the streets. Like, come on, man. Now civilians, people like regular people get up and go to work every day. But if you made your whole career off of being a gangster, being a drug dealer, being a driller, being a killer, like, you know what I'm saying? Now you get hemmed up. That's just showing that you're not a stand-up nigga, yo. So everything you was rapping about was really a lie at the end of the day anyway. But I mean, yeah, if you're not a part of that lifestyle, you might have just happened to be somebody that happened to grow up around that, but you was never really with the shit. Then by all means, yeah, say fuck the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have no problem with that. There's even when they were doing a drop the flag challenge, and then a nigga tried to come at Jim, but Jim was just saying like, okay, you don't have to stop gangbanging, just start doing different. You could gangbang positively. You know what I'm saying? To where shit, you might be the nigga that's still out there preventing motherfuckers from getting killed. Like, yo, why you want to go shoot that nigga? Yo, just fight that nigga, yo. You know what I'm saying?
I got to realize that, I grew up poor. I grew up around that stuff, but I never had to make a lot of decisions. I never had to, I was never in that position. I got a little lucky. My parents came up a little bit, and I didn't get involved with none of that. So so if I'm gonna criticize somebody who did have to go through it, I have to be a little honest with myself before I speak. You know what I mean? It's easy to criticize when you didn't have to make certain decisions that other people have to make. You know what I mean? So when it's easy to be moral when you're fat and happy. You know what I mean? So,
Back outside, that's cool.
so like, but you know, with that being said, the way I take the whole F the streets thing is just you know, I'm gonna quote a book, and it's like it says in The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter Wilson. It says, "Hey man, we got to rethink everything. When growing up in this society, we got to rethink everything that we participate in, and think like, hey man, is this benefiting us or benefiting our oppressors? You know what I mean? And I think when they say F the streets, we really looking at it like, hey man, after all of this, after all this game banging, where has it gotten us? Yeah, a lot of money has gotten made, but a lot of dudes ain't here right now. A lot of dudes is in jail right now. A lot of families is broken. A lot of mothers cried. A lot of babies weren't born. A lot of babies weren't raised by their fathers. A lot of things happened because of it. And we got to look like, hey man, does this benefit us? And I think a lot of people are saying, nah, F this stuff is not benefiting us. You know what I mean? And I don't see nothing wrong with that. It's not saying F, just like dude says, it's not saying F the dudes in the streets. It's not coming at the people. It's saying F the situation. You know what I mean? And I think we got to really rethink this stuff because it's just like, what hasn't gotten us? You know what I mean? It's gotten our oppressors rich at our expense yet again, you know?
Yeah, but like my cousin said, instead of fuck the streets, it should have been get out the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So once you got out the streets, it's like, okay, like I said, you can still rap about your past and give people your backstory to let them know why you qualified to talk about the things that you talk about. But then after that, you have to show them the growth. Like, okay, this is how I started, but don't stay stuck here. You know what I'm saying? You can have your own label. You can have successful art. You know what I'm saying? Now you can hire armed security. So we don't have to be catching felonies by carrying guns and shit like that. That's the type of shit that you do and teach the people around you once you get to a certain level. So that way you can stay out the streets. So that way it don't have to be like, okay, we just went through a whole RICO and now we're staying out the streets.
You're right. I get you on that. Looking at the whole entertainment aspect of it, it's like not just that aspect. It's like all of us gotta be like, forget this mentality. Can't all of us get out the street? We ain't all gonna get rich. A lot of us are gonna be right. A lot of us are gonna be right here. So we gotta fix this. We gotta fix where we at. You know what I mean? But we gotta really reevaluate what that looks like. And this is things like I try to tell people. You know what I mean? Like me and Trey had talked about it. Like me as a dude, like I said, not a street dude who went to college and just sort of lived a normal, like a more normal life, I guess you could say, like not in the streets. That's the bridge I'm trying to like gap between, me and my experience versus like other people from the streets. Because I understand everybody got something to bring, everybody got something to give. That's why I never discount or take away anything that anybody got to say. But we got to bridge this, and I got to take what I've learned and I got to bring it to everybody. But like how we fix this might not look how we think it's gonna look. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. You know what I mean? Like we gonna need a little bit more than telling people like, nah, just don't shoot each other, just don't do this, don't do that. We gotta change. We gotta get that environment, and it has to be literally everything. Like I heard this in the Talib Kweli song. It's something I say all the time. We gotta realize all is important. You know what I mean? Like in meaning like it has to happen on every level. Like everything that we do has to be for the betterment of Black people. You know what I mean? Not just financially. It has to be politically. It has to be socially. We have to start from how we raise our kids. Like me and Trey talked about this. I'm a firm believer. Hey man, stop beating your kids. Stop doing that. And start right there. Stop hitting your kids. Black people don't like to hear that. Black people, stop hitting your kids. They start right there. The only reason we hit our kids is because that's what the slave master taught us to do. It goes all the way right back to that. It didn't come from Africa. It didn't come from that. You still using the slave master's way of disciplining your kids.
Yeah, but
and you still looking at and you still worshiping the slave master's Jesus. I said it.
But I mean, so you think no kids got discipline? You think no kids got discipline before slavery though? Like you think no kids got beat before slavery anywhere?
Not the way we do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, and it's so ingrained in us that we just think like, oh yeah, niggas weren't hitting their kids like that. Europeans were beating their kids like that, yes, because Europeans don't respect their European men don't respect.
Go to China or India and an Indian kid or a Chinese kid is acting up, they getting their ass whooped, bro.
And they all been colonized too. But India been colonized and all of them. That's what I'm saying. It's all the same thing. See, all that came from the slave master because Europeans, like I said, they don't respect two things. They don't respect their women and they don't respect their children.
Most Europeans don't even like women, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying.
Most of them was part of the community.
And we doing the same thing right now. So I'm like, hey man, we got to start right there and say, hey man, who gave, like, go right back to what I'm saying, like how you got to reevaluate how street culture is affecting us.
Buck breaking came from the Romans, and it just got passed down through slavery.
Yeah, but like I was saying, like how we got to reevaluate how street culture is affecting our community. We got to reevaluate how we raise our kids.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because the same way you wouldn't want your kids doing the negative things that you used to do, you should want the same thing for the next person's kids. Because the next person's kids, you might have got to your kid till they're not in the streets, but now if you don't save the next person's kids, they still might kill your kid that's not even in the streets. You know what I mean? So you gotta look at that like that too. So it's like, yeah. And then it go right back. It's like we just worry about our own family, our own families. Like we don't look at the neighbors and the people around the corner down the street. Like, you know what I'm saying? We just think about everything is about our block, our projects, or this or that. But we don't really own none of this shit unless it's actually in your house. You know what I'm saying? Wealth is something that's not per se individual. Wealth is something that's part of a group. White people function well because they got wealth as a group and they act as a group. They grasp what I mean. Grasp that concept earlier than we did. I think I was telling this to I think because the other day I have a friend. He lives in San Diego. He's in the finances, so he was speaking to one of his colleagues one day. So he asked him. He was like, how young is the youngest person in your family? And he was like 3 years old. So he was like, well, what have you set up for them, like financially already? He was like, nothing. He was like, you're basically that 3-year-old kid is 3 years behind all the other kids in my family. You know what I mean? Because it's like before they even born, they're coming into a trust fund, they're coming into an LLC, they're coming into some type of something to where it's like, okay, you don't even have to work for nobody else unless you want to, because I've already set you up to be your own boss from the time you came out your mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's not things that we got to learn that as adults, and it's like that's what sets us behind too. You know what I'm saying?
And they got institutions backing them too to make sure that this dude's success. We ain't got none of that. That's what Fred Hampton. That's what the Panthers were trying to teach you. That's what made him dangerous and why they unalived him at 21 because he knew that.
You know what messed me up when I found out a lot of historic black colleges. They receive a lot of funds from people that's not in the black community. You know what I mean? A lot of those colleges are still ran by white people, even though they're historically black colleges.
But not all our funding can come from us. See, like I said, like a lot of the I'm not gonna say their name, but the J people. I'm not gonna throw it.
Yeah. I got you.
The group can't start with the J.
I got you.
That's where they
little hats.
The little hats.
That's exactly what they do. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and that's cool, but it's just all about like the problem with hip hop, about why hip hop failed, is because everybody wanted to be the artist. Me and Trey talked about this. Everybody wanted to be the artist or the producer. Nobody wanted to be the cameraman. Nobody wanted to be the editor. Nobody wanted to be the
Yeah, hold on. Don't even go there, because me and Trey go through that all the time, yo. Every time we try to pull somebody in, they want to jump straight on the camera and on the mic with us. It's like, yo, we might need you to hold the camera. We might need you to check the audio to make sure the episode is going right. So it's like, you can't work with us like that for a week and then we work you into the show. They like, we present it to them like that. They don't want to have nothing to do with it no more.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's the problem.
Want it how they want it. You know what I mean? It don't work like that.
Hip hop could have been something bigger than what it was for our community if we had all that. Like, remember I told you I dated this girl back in the day. She was Puerto Rican though, but like, she owned like one of those companies that did music, that set up music videos for people. You know what I mean? Like they would hit her up and be like, oh yeah, and they would set up and she would like they would direct it, and then they would get all the people and the actors that were in the videos, and she owned a company like that. And I was just like, man, black people should have been owning that. Like all those videos made that Jay-Z did, everybody did, should have been done. It should have been all black money. Everybody getting in it, however they could have got. Because not everybody, there's cats right now trying to be rappers, and it's like, nah, you shouldn't be a rapper. You know what I mean? You should be rapping. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like you might be a good producer. You might be a good editor, but everybody want to be the rapper. You know what I mean? Like we gotta understand that. Like, hey man, you know what I mean? But we behind 8 Ball a little bit, man. But like I said, like it just go right back to the bigger picture. It's just like going right back to F the streets. We got to look at it like, hey man, we got to really like learn to evaluate something and be honest about it, and then make those changes. You know what I mean? Like, or we never gonna progress. You know what I mean?
Right. I want to touch on that too, to piggyback on what you were saying. So if you notice, okay, in hip hop, it was stages to where it's like, okay, in like the 80s, that's when you have more like the positive rap and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Right? But you got to think about it. You had some successful artists that was making money, but they still made less money than probably somebody now that's less successful than they would have been back in the day, right? So now, as soon as the 90s come in, that's when they started pushing gangster rap. So now we're going to pay y'all more money to influence people to go the negative route. Because we know how powerful music is. So that's exactly what they did. So it wasn't that we wasn't collectively trying to come together. You had plenty of positive groups back in the day. You had De La Soul, you had Public Enemy, you had Brand Nubian, you had X-Clan, you had everybody that was on some positive shit. So they feared that unity. So what it was, they infiltrated our culture so they could make us sell out. You know what I mean? And we basically sold ourselves to them through the music. You know what I mean? So it's like once you do that, it's hard. It's kind of hard to get out of that. It's like, okay, I'm gonna pay you millions to rap about killing and drug dealing, but as soon as you want to play the flute and don't want to rap no more, now everybody's gonna clown you for doing that, for being your own man and going a route that you want to go. Now there's no money in that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just crazy. So basically, that's what happened. It was like they used gangster rap and said, okay, we're gonna use NWA. We're gonna use so the West Coast was very instrumental on that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they were the ones actually living that blood and Crip lifestyle, to where it's like, okay, we believe these guys when they say it because that's their culture. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then it spilled over here to where now you have Mobb Deep and you know what I'm saying, all these street groups coming out now. They just all talking about jail and selling drugs and killing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the music that we grew up off of. So if this is soundtrack to my whole life, so I wasn't supposed to go to prison. I wasn't supposed to sell drugs. I wasn't supposed to carry a gun. That's what the fuck I was listening to every day. That's what I was entertaining every day. So it's like you psychologically get motherfucking just caught up in the matrix, yo, because that's what you entertaining. If I was listening to some other type of music, my life might have not even been that way. You know what I'm saying? If I was listening to fucking pop music all day, I might have just been a regular dude that focused on getting girls and you know what I'm saying, and going to school and doing right. You know what I mean? Like,
I want to jump in right there. I don't want to blame hip hop for what's the name, because there's people who do things. I wouldn't say we do, like, you know what I mean, Columbine, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not listening to rap music, thinking that mentality. But
because a lot of them are though. You got to think about it. A lot of kids from the community that you're talking about are big consumers of hip hop.
I get you.
A lot of them buy more hip hop than our community.
I get you. And then some guy, I like how you broke it down off of what you.
Remember how Tupac got signed to Interscope? Because the girl.
I'm about to get there. So check this out, right? You have somebody that's in a college setting, you know what I mean, who went to Juilliard, who parents were Black Panthers, who were fighting for Black power and civil rights and stuff like that, right?
He's a unicorn when it comes to this type of thing.
Yeah, right? So
he was a conflicted soul.
So look, when he gets, they say Tupac was we seen the interviews, yo. We seen the interviews. But as soon as he adapted this character or this persona of a gangster, it caused him way more trouble if he would have stayed on the path that he originally started off on, right?
He's a Gemini, man.
All right, hold up. I don't want to. I'm not trying to bash Tupac or nothing like that. So I'm just giving you an example. I just want to give you an example, right? So then you have somebody like 6ix9ine, who sees that this industry is playing off of, yo, the gangsters are the people who people look up to, the killers, the whistling like that. So I'm gonna portray something that I'm not. And then when that real life comes at you, you don't know how to handle it, but you think you handle it well because you got to stay in that character.
I don't know nobody from Brooklyn who don't want people to think that they tough. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's one nigga from Brooklyn that wants somebody to think that they pussy. You know what I mean?
But it's this rumor. I'm not gonna say rumor. It's this theory, right? That always used to go around the hood. If somebody used to know how to box or they used to box, it was always told to us they can't hit nobody. They can't get into no fights because their hands is registered. They'll go to jail forever. That was a lie the whole time.
I mean, but the thing is, you can lose your license for getting in the street altercations, though. So I think that's how it was misconstrued. You know what I'm saying? People like, yeah, people don't have to actually get their hands registered, but they look at their hand as being a registered weapon because you actually got training in that. You know what I'm saying?
The myth got debunked when Mike Tyson put hands on old boy. Yeah. Because listen, if you coming at me, I'm just defending myself. No matter if my hands are registered or not. If I'm not trying to bash it in or taking it excessively. You get what I'm saying?
But they also would help Mike too. The dude was also high too. You know what I'm saying?
But it's been plenty of situations where we seen Mike Tyson put hands on people. But that's not the. I don't want to get sidetracked. That's not the point. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to miss the point. The point is this, right? The whole F the streets thing came from. It didn't come from people who were in the streets doing street things. It came from people who were out of the streets, who never been in the streets, but they loved that artist so much that it's like, yo, well, we're not in the streets, so we can say F the streets. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if that artist feels like that their audience is behind them saying that, it's cool. The same way like Gunner. Everybody called Gunner a snitch and all of this stuff like that. He never answered back. He just kept the music going. Like, yo, I'm not gonna answer, just keep the music going. Some when Young Thug and everybody was calling him a snitch, he was like, all right, well, forget it. If you ever would have said something about like him being gangster or being listening, his whole career right now would be totally done. Totally done.
I think the reason why I think you really can't look at Gunna as a snitch is one reason is he was a rapper on that label that was being under investigation. So of course they're gonna look at everybody on that label, but nothing never came out during that trial where he committed no crimes with YSL.
True, but he was in that car. Remember, that's what some guy was saying too. If me and you are in the car, it's only us two. Veg, you're driving. You know what you got in your car. I don't know what you got in your car. But once I get in and we get pulled over and you don't tell them this is your stuff and we both getting locked up and they ask me, yo, so whose stuff is it? And I'm like, it's not mine. It's not even my car.
That's what I'm saying. And then if I'm not saying the same thing, it's going to be perceived as you told on me. But I never put you. If you had knowledge that it was guns in the car beforehand and you still chose to get in the car and ride with me, and you said it's not mine, then I can look at it as you told on me. Because you be like, hold up, because you're riding with a strap. Now either leave that here or I'm not gonna ride with you.
Nigga, he ain't telling me.
He knew he had knowledge of what was going on.
What you think, some guy?
I don't think that's snitching either. I think it's stupid to like sort of expect this dude to go through that. Anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now we both saying that's cool because our story is the same. So now if we haven't already corroborated our stories to where it's like, okay, if anything get found in the car, I'm not claiming it and you're not claiming it.
Then we both going to jail for something that I had nothing to do with. This is your stuff.
That's what I'm saying, because if you knew that shit was, so if I'm riding with 10 keys in the trunk, and so if you're not telling me like, yo, cuz you can't just leave that bag in the house while we go to the store real quick, like you really gotta bring it, and you still choose to get in the car, you know what I'm saying? And you'd be like, yo,
but hey, it's still your stuff.
Thank you.
And that's why people like say.
But that's what I'm saying. Give me an opportunity to say it's my stuff. You don't start talking before I say anything.
But you are in this game. You knew what the rules of this game was. You knew you were either going to get robbed or go to jail, yo.
You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing, huh?
They're gonna ask you before they ask me, but you drive it.
That's what I'm saying. If they find it, that's what I mean. It wouldn't even get to the point where they ask you anything. You know what I'm saying?
You say it ain't mine. I mean, you got to say that means you ran me.
But that's me personally. We just talking about the average person in general. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in certain situations, if you have knowledge that something illegal is going on, and you know like, okay, I ain't trying to go to jail for this shit. You got to make better decisions. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say it.
I understand what you said, babe. But like, this is why Cass is like F the streets, because you expecting something in that situation. You expected me to go down for your stuff.
No,
like, I don't care if I do. I don't care.
I'm not saying
that's what I'm saying. It's not snitching, because on some level, like, dog, like we just like how we brought up about 50 like really treated his crew like he didn't care about these niggas. But on some level, street niggas will do the same thing.
Thank you.
Like, okay, so but on some, because like on some level, like you know you got the 10 bricks in the car. You tell me, we hop in. Man, we just going down the street. It's all right. Or we hop in the car and we get pulled over. You expecting me to go down for these 10 bricks too? But nigga, but if I would have asked you for some, of that money for them 10 bricks,
like me,
thank you. You ain't gonna give it up.
You wouldn't have to.
But that's different. But now cats want to call Gunner a snitch in a similar situation. It's just like, no, y'all wasn't giving me no money for this shit.
Yeah, no, cause I don't want you to take it. Don't take it personal. We ain't taking that personal. We just giving a situation, like a scenario. Yeah. We just giving a scenario. But this is the conversation that we need to have. It's like, because Veg is saying something that rappers been saying for so long is misleading certain people, yo. It's misleading because it's like this. If you a hustler, and I fuck with you, right? You knew the rules of this game. You knew the rules. So if we get robbed together, right? Because you're the dope boy. They came to rob you, but I'm with you, and they robbed both of us. You're not gonna be like, hey, yo, I got you, yo. Let me put that money back in your pocket. You're not gonna do that. I'm not saying you personally, Veg. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that what's the name? Like what's the name was saying, yo, if you got the 10 bricks in the car, you know you got the 10 bricks. You just telling me, yo, I got the 10 bricks in the car. Okay, Veg, you are absolutely right. It's up to me to say if I want to go and be in this be in the car or not, right?
He must have. Yeah, but you gonna have to say what you said again. We couldn't hear you.
I know. I had a phone call coming in.
You said about the 10 bricks in the car.
Yeah. So look, if you got 10 bricks in the car, right, and I call you, you call and you be like, yo. All right. So hold on. Look.
Because okay, now personally, I had a situation like that. It wasn't of that magnitude, but I had a situation to where some shit had happened. We happened to get pulled over. You know what I'm saying? So me and my cousin, we basically got charged with something, but you know what I mean? They had cuffed the whole car. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was gonna go to jail until I told them like, nah, yo, like what you locking them up for? They're like, oh, we locking them up for the marijuana that we found. I'm like, nah, the marijuana that you found, that's mine. As soon as I said that, they took the cuffs off of them and they went about their business. And me and my cousin went to jail.
Okay.
Like, that's how I handle shit like that.
Oh.
I'm never gonna put somebody. I'm never gonna put me or nobody that's riding with me in a situation to where you would have to ever go down for my own shit. You know what I mean? But like I know most niggas is gonna be like, oh, it ain't mine. The other nigga gonna be like, it ain't mine. And now y'all both going to jail. Mm-hmm. You know know what I'm saying? The average motherfucker. So it's like, so that's what I was saying. So if you know that the average person is like that, you as your own individual that don't want to go to prison for somebody else shit, you got to make better decisions when you have knowledge of shit going on around you that you're not with. You know what I'm saying? If you chilling in the house with niggas that got guns and drugs all day, and that shit get kicked in, and now you're doing 10 years for being in the trap house, whose fault is that? Is their fault or your fault?
Yeah, everybody has a level of fault situation. We're not saying that, but on some level, homie, like you're not gonna have loyalty to certain cats like that. You can't expect something that you ain't willing to give.
No,
we do that, and we do. No, like no, I'm
not even about that.
No, like you gotta let me cook. You gotta let me cook, man.
It's just about you putting yourself in a situation for that to even be a possibility.
That's true too. But
knowing that you're not a part of that life, that's not a smart decision to make. That's the only thing that I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but the
Those are the niggas that's like, come on, boy, you can't be saying one thing 1 minute and the next minute you saying something else. But now that I know that those street shit came from niggas that's not from the streets, now I have a better understanding of that. I thought it was rappers out there saying fuck the streets.
No.
Yeah, so I definitely had that twisted.
No, it's coming from the audience, but then the certain rappers are picking it up because, like you said, it's like Atlanta's protecting Atlanta because it's only Atlanta rappers that are under the microscope right now being called rats. Remember, when 6ix9ine ratted,
been doing it for years, cuz it ain't Atlanta. New York's been doing it for years.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When 6ix9ine ratted, all the heat was on New York. When Alpo came home, it was all on New York. So anytime there was a situation where somebody ratted, it was always like, yeah. Yo, ain't no rats, blah.
Okay, so now I'm glad you mentioned those two people. So when Ace Boogie told one of the niggas that shot him, nobody had nothing to say about that. Right? He was part of that same situation, same crew. You know what I'm saying? The niggas that robbed him and shot him, he told on them niggas is in jail right now. They didn't get killed in the movie like how they portray that shit. So who else from New York? When Frank Lucas told, nobody called him a rat. Nicky Barnes told, oh, he's the biggest rat in New York City, this, that, and third. It's mad motherfuckers that told. So
but that's the whole thing about picking and choosing.
Atlanta's not the first place to do that. New York been doing that shit for years, you know?
But that's the whole thing about picking and choosing. Like, you can't pick and choose when you want to be gangster or when you want to be a stand-up guy, when you want to show loyalty.
That's the point I was trying to make. When you're a part of that lifestyle. If you're just a regular nigga, I get it, yo. Hell no, you're not trying to go to jail for nobody's guns, nobody's murdered, nobody's nothing. So the only thing I was saying, just don't put yourself willingly in those positions to even worry about anything like that.
Okay, now I got the perfect example for you, cuz you know Ace and Whistling was tight, grew up together. You know what I'm saying? His man was hustling, but he was at the he was working at
The cleaners.
the cleaners, right? He said, "Yo, jump in the car. I'm gonna take you home." He like, "Nah, man, you know that." Like, "Nah, yo, jump in. I'm gonna take you home with my man." Like, so now if the car get pulled over, right?
But he already know Rick's gonna take the weight for that shit.
Because that's what you're supposed to do. That's the game you playing, though.
Because he knew the caliber of the nigga that he was dealing with. You got some niggas that don't know the caliber of the nigga that they was dealing with, never been through no street activity with that person, and then like some guy said, you're expecting them to have loyalty to you, not to say anything, to where it's like, hold up, bro, like you don't even know if I'm really built like that.
But now I guess that begs the question: does the streets have any real code then?
Not anymore.
If you can't expect, but it seemed like it never did.
Not anymore.
If we talk about Nicky Barnes, we talk about the '60s.
That's what I'm saying. It's always been selective. It's always been people that's been selectively pulled out and being crucified. Frank Lucas operated in the same streets as Nicky Barnes.
Yeah, so and that was what around the '70s. So like,
and now they saying Nicky told because old boy Guy Fisher was smashing his girl and he was jealous of that. It don't matter why you told, he told. It's the same fucking thing. Whether you were sending police to jail and sending street niggas to jail, you still was telling on motherfuckers that was helping you commit
what I'm saying is like it seemed like it never had no code.
It never did. It's just people want to make you think that it did. And so, no, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I'm not going front. You have it's just like everything. You have real motherfuckers and you have fake people. Just like in religion, you have real Christians, fake Christians, real Muslims, fake Muslims. So it's the same thing.
So I want to ask.
It's just all about what you can finesse a motherfucker to believe and think. At least nowadays it is. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question to Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, yo. I want to ask y'all this question. And some guy and Garcia Vega, they can answer it now. In that situation, who's really at fault or wrong or the worst person in that situation? Is the person who's doing what they doing, riding around with the gun, with the drugs in the car, or the person who got in the car because they knew or didn't know that the person that they're riding with had drugs and stuff in the car? Who's more wrong? That's the first question, right? And the second question is this. Hold up. Let me finish the second question real quick. I don't want to forget. The second question is this, right? Who should take the blame? Should they both take the blame? Or should the driver, whose stuff it is, stand 10 toes down and take the blame?
I could go further. I would say they both wrong because if you know that, okay, I got cousin Troy with me and I got 10 bricks in the car. I'm putting that bag in my house. Bricks already know that he's not gonna, you know what I'm saying? He's not gonna, like, whatever. So before I even get to the point where I even have to own up to the shit or whatever, I just get the shit out the car. So like I said, if he knows that it's in there, he's still using it in the car with me. He's 50% wrong, but I'm 50% wrong by keeping it in the car. And what was the second part of the question? See if you got the second part.
Who's more in the wrong? The person who's driving around with it, or the person who don't want to take the charge for it? Like the passenger who don't want to go down with you for it. Why?
Why put your people in harm's way, yo? Like if you really don't have to, like unless it's like if it's the only car that he can get, or you know what I'm saying? Like, look, bro, I'll call you an Uber. I just have, you know what I'm saying? If I'm moving like that, nigga, I can pay to get you to where you gotta go. You don't gotta ride with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what you think, some guy?
If I got one of the homies with me, or one of the niggas that's hustling for me or something like that, he know what's in the car, I know what's in the car. I'm looking at him to be stand up. They may be looking at me to be stand up to where it's like, okay, well, look, nigga, if we get pulled over, this is shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's already established to where it's like, he don't even have to think of a way to get out of it. Because he know, like, hold up, if we get pulled man gonna say it's his anyway. That's what we already discussed, so I don't gotta worry about it. But you know, a lot of times a motherfucker say that and then do the opposite. So unless you really been through shit like that with certain people, you never really know until you've been in those situations.
I agree on some level.
Hold up, what you say?
It's at fault, but it ain't 50-50.
So
You know what I mean? The dude who doing the dirt, it's ultimately you doing it. I can know about it, but you ultimately doing it. Who the dope boy, not me? Just because, like, I associate with you, you know, let's say, like, we family or something or whatever. Homie, I'm not supposed to associate with my cousins.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
And the only way they could probably flip it on you if you happen to be like the driver or something, and you did something to actually get y'all pulled over.
Yeah.
I mean, but if
But
you just a passenger, you ride in your cousin's car, he get pulled over. That 9 times out of 10 eyes on him, they was already targeting him anyway. You know what
But
I'm
I say
saying?
it's more like 80-20. But like, I think Trey hit on something because we want to say F the streets while also not taking accountability for our part in the situation of like how we propped up hood music and how we propped up dudes like you. How we will sit here and like, cause let's be real, part of like, let's say like when you think about the hood, you think about Brooklyn, like I said, I'm from New York, but I'm not from New York. I mean, I'm not from New York. I'm from the West Coast.
Yeah.
But I know the reputation Brooklyn got. But why do Brooklyn got that reputation? Because of street dudes. And part of the allure of growing up in the hood, we take credit for part of the hood. The allure of growing up in the hood.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know what
it come from street dudes. You know what I mean?
I don't know what dude from Brooklyn who don't want to be considered a tough guy, even if they're not part of the streets. They just
like
don't
being
want to be
from LA. Like part of what made being from LA cool was street dudes. So we want to take credit for that. But then say, man, fuck the streets. Fuck that. No, we all contributed to it. That's why, like I said, all is important. We got to sit here and say on some level we all put in on it, and now we can't just turn our back and be like, nah, that's on you, homie. You know what I mean? For me to be making street music, and somebody had to buy it. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Somebody has to be consuming this shit, but to be considered popular and what's in. Because we'd love to like, and I'm sorry, I wish we had a lady in here, but ladies do that shit too. Because a lot of y'all be corny ass suburban women, but you want to run around with street dudes. And then when something go down, you want to be like, I didn't know. Like, nah, you went there because you wanted to be attached to something in our culture that's considered cool or considered, you went there and then now you want to, oh no, I didn't know that he was doing that. You knew. Take your accountability. Don't pull that bullshit. And then now you want to lead a dude. You don't want to write him no letters, put no money on his book. Don't want to do nothing. You just, he in jail. Oh, that's on you. Like perfect example. I don't know if you're familiar with the TV show Power. Like Power Forge, like the one with Tommy on it, his spinoff. Yeah. Okay, so for example, his girlfriend is a regular nurse at a hospital, right? Her brother is a fucking leader of his fucking cartel, and she's dating drug dealers. So it's like, with that being said, like, why would you even want to associate yourself with your brother or the nigga that you with? You know what I'm saying? Knowing that you're a fucking nurse, you live in the same town that your boyfriend and your brother operate in. So you probably got these victims. You probably treating these victims that they just shot. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you putting yourself too close to harm's way. Like, it just don't make sense. Yeah. That's why I was like, it's a level of just being honest. Like, hey, like about how we all contribute to it on some level. You know what I mean? So that's where it's like, but going right back to narrowing it right back down to a situation in the car on some level. If I knew you was a street dude, and I say like, hey, it's like you was a street dude, you running breaks and stuff like that. I knew that, but I'm riding. But like, you go into the club and you get girls, and I'm riding with you and shit. I'm a normal dude. Because now we go to the club, you got money because you pushing bricks and you got all this, and I want to be in your fly ass cars, or you might let me drive the fly cars. I'm getting women because of you, but then now I want to be like, oh, but shit go down, like, and now look down on you, like, see, man, that's your fault for selling drugs. Like, oh,
when you was riding in the Jaguar with me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you was. When we was at the club, it's like a club. You gotta sit here and say, nah, I was part of that too. So like, I don't think it's a 50-50 thing. I think it's more of like an 80-20. But you know what I mean? But still, there's still a level of fault in it. You know what I mean? But that's true about anything. Because think about anybody who's ever gotten murdered. Anybody they a lot of times did something to get them that. You know what I mean? It don't mean they ain't a victim. It don't mean they ain't a victim of it. It just, you still contribute to it. So it do go this level of that. So we got to be honest about, before we sit here and turn our back on street dudes, we got to sit here and be honest about how we contribute to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I look at it like this: just because you do, I mean, it might sound like a contradiction, but just because you did bad things, that don't make you a bad person. And just because you did some good things, that don't make you a good person. You know what I mean? It's like, I look at it, it all depends on how you are as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like okay,
it's easy to be moral. Like I said earlier, it's easy to be moral when you're fat and happy. It's easy to be moral when you ain't had to make certain decisions that Cass had to make. So it's like, on some level, I gotta be, as I said, I always gotta be easy. And I think everybody, you gotta be easy before you criticize somebody. You know what I mean?
Because you have people like me, for example. To 90% of the people that know me, I'm the nicest motherfucker. I wouldn't hurt a fly, this, that, and the third. But it might be that 10% of motherfuckers that know me, like, oh, okay, like, yeah, I can believe that you did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's how it be a lot of times. It's like, you just gotta let the good. You just gotta let the good outweigh the bad, because street dude, not street dude, whatever. Nobody's perfect, and we all try to do our best to live life. You know what I'm saying? On our terms as much as possible. You know what I mean? Like,
we got to look at it in the proper context. We can't separate the culture from the context in which the culture was created. You know what I mean? So it all comes out of poverty. And just like I said, like dudes, like you always hear, it's always the same story. Same story. You hear a New York dude talking about, oh yeah, my pops was gone, mom's was working all day, shit like that. He grew up, had to make some money, wanted to make some money, and what was the quickest thing? Matt Hoffa said it perfectly in one of his battles. He said, I'm a Brooklyn dude. No money, I go to rob because I can get a gun way faster than I can get a job. I'll never forget that line.
That's
perfectly put.
That's only because of the what was already put out there about Brooklyn before him. You know what I mean? Like you said, like
he came up in that environment.
Majority of my mom's side, you know what I mean? Like my grandmother was born in Brooklyn, my mom was born in Brooklyn, so they always had that reputation as being the niggas that do rob motherfuckers. But that's not saying that you have big ass drug dealers from Brooklyn that never robbed anybody. But the reputation that they would grow up with is like, okay, yeah, you out there, you gotta watch your back, your niggas try to run up on you, you know what I mean? So it's like, well, now even people that's not in the streets, they try to live off that reputation too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where the lines get crossed, and the streets and the motherfucking sidewalk meet, and it wasn't even supposed to be.
Mind your business.
You know what I'm saying?
But my point of bringing it up was just like, I guarantee you, like Matt Hoffa was born in like the Huxtables or something like that. You know what I mean? In a situation like that, he wouldn't have been robbing cats. You know what I mean? We can't sit here and like, you never hear that story of like, hey man, how'd you get a drug dealer? Well, you know what? I was driving to my college at Dartmouth, and then the thug life started calling, and I wouldn't sell drugs. You know what I mean? Like you never hear that story. You know what I mean?
Because this the best way I can say this. It's the best way I can say this. Like, I think hip hop has like brainwashed people into thinking that the streets is bigger than regular life, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? You have way more regular civilian 9-to-5 people. You know, people that's not in the streets is way more of them. Now you might go to certain areas and it's more street people than other places, but they still don't outnumber. They still don't outnumber the people that's just the regular, everyday, hardworking people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think music has fed into that so much that it will make you think that everybody in LA is gangbanging. It'll make you think everybody in Brooklyn is robbing niggas. It'll make you think everybody in Detroit is pimping, or everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, dude. Like, especially when you get around like the dominant society, like like white people, and like they hear hip hop. And like I said, like I went to a mostly white college, and like you hear these dudes, and they hear you from LA or something, and like they swear like LA, like growing up in LA is like like every day is like the opening scene to that movie Predator 2. You know, like it's the drug dealers with Uzis getting it out in the cops in broad daylight. You just gonna go and it's just 50 Crips standing on the block all day, and it's just like,
It's just they got a preconceived notion based on stereotypes.
yeah, but it's like I tell people, like it's violent and it's 3 dudes, but it's not like that. You know what I mean? Like they all think it's like, you know, to make a newer reference, a somewhat new reference, but they all think it's like training day. You know, like, oh, you're gonna go right here to the Mexicans, and then like that's their hood, and then it's a bunch of bald essays standing around. It's like, nah, like it's not like that.
And the crazy part about the whole like preconceived notions is like me personally. I've been in the worst places and have nothing happen to me, and I've been in the best places and have something happen to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it really don't matter. Like if something is meant to happen to you, it's gonna happen to you wherever you at. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna find you. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be in the hood to get unalive. You don't have to. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be in a good place for something good to happen to you. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people in the hood that they live good lives. They don't go through the stressful street shit that other people go through. They don't entertain that. They don't subscribe to that. You know what I mean?
I don't know that it's necessarily a good life, but it's just they're living.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's better than somebody that's ripping and running the streets and got to worry about ducking bullets and going to jail and you know what I mean, getting caught with drugs. Like, so you know, but they might live next door to that guy. Though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you said, they don't really indulge in that activity, but they still are amongst it. So I don't know that it makes their life good necessarily, but they're just kind of surviving in the environment, and that's kind of how that goes.
Yeah, you know, in certain places, people get immune to certain things too. So it's like, okay, there's drugs and violence going on. I'm not paying attention to that. I'm in my own lane. I'm over here working. I'm coming home. I'm going to the house. When I leave, I leave the neighborhood. I don't even hang out on my block. You know what I'm saying? You got plenty of people that live in the that's like that too.
I know quite a few like that.
They could be living in the middle of a gang neighborhood and they have the best life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like they don't got to worry about that. Their kids ain't out there gang banging. Their kids ain't out there selling drugs. Their kids might be in college, successful people. So it's like, you know. But like we've been.
Yeah, but I kind of wonder why they choose to still even stay there.
Exactly. You have an option to move. Yeah, you got an option to move.
It's just
I was watching a podcast and they were interviewing French Montana and they were asking him about Chinx, and he said that Chinx had called him to bless him with some money to get out the hood, and so he gave Chinx the bread to buy a car and move out the hood, and Chinx bought a house like 5 blocks down from where the hood was. That was moving out the hood. And I just thought that was absolutely mind-boggling because I just couldn't understand what made him think moving 5 blocks away was gonna give him that clearance. You know, that was quite sad.
It really don't matter where you move to if you're coming back to the hood every day. You putting yourself on.
But it's not even that he moved because you literally went 5 blocks down, so you really ain't go nowhere. Yeah. And that's pretty much important. So that's quite sad. But it's also stuff that you even have to leave your said home because of the fact that it's so detrimental. That's bad.
Because even like Stack Bundles, you know what I mean? He got killed like years before Chinx got killed, and it was the same shit with him. Like he wasn't living in his projects no more, but he always was out there, and that's where he got killed by somebody that he grew up with. You know what I mean?
That's why I personally feel like when you get success, you gotta go. You can't stay. Because the minute that you can't stay. You have to leave and go somewhere else that's going to be a little more inviting, because the hood will eat you alive. It literally will.
And then I look at it like this. You know what I mean? Leave the hood, build the success someplace else, but come back. But when you come back correctly. You know what I mean? To where it's like, okay, you don't got to worry about your security. You don't got to worry about your safety. Nothing like that.
Come back correctly how? Is there such a way? Because Nipsey Hussle apparently came back correctly, but he still died in front of the store that he owned, honey.
Yeah,
somebody from his same set too.
no, I'm saying
What is
correctly.
correctly? I need to know what correctly is because
Security
literally was from the hood. He wasn't really
there was no
causing
gun
any
on the premise,
disturbances.
but that's the point I'm trying to make. That's what I mean. Come correctly, even if he had to come with his armed security, that nigga showed up there in his own car by himself with nobody with him to meet somebody at the store. You know what I'm saying? He got ran up on by the nigga and he got killed.
Hey, Vag.
He didn't have his bodyguards with him or nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I personally would always go everywhere with the team because I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, so that's what I meant by correctly. Like, it's like, okay, you got Cowboy working at the store. He's a felon, so he legally can't carry a gun. You know what I mean? So the only way, normally he pulled up with his brother, and when he pulled up with his brother already had a gun on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't even think that was enough. I feel like he needed to have like top-notch security.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, you can have the felons working for you, but have
you can have
somebody that can legally carry a gun and they can kill somebody if they have to, and not go to jail. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Vag.
Like that's necessary, especially for a person like him and the status that he held.
That's the only mistake that I feel like he made. Other than that, I feel he did everything right because he wanted to be on the front line showing his success in the hood.
I agree, but that was the one. You
I
never
felt like he got too comfortable.
He said cannot kick
He
your
got too
feet up.
comfortable with nothing happening.
Cannot.
It was something easy to happen to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't get laxed at any moment because you just never know. You can't.
Even if you ask one of the homies to take a ride with you that got the gun or something, like, nigga, like, all right, come on, I'm about to go to the store. You'll pull up over here with me just in case something looks
Yeah,
crazy.
but to me, it should never even be a come on, go to the store moment. It should not be I'm randomly pulling up going to the store moment. It's just you are not that person anymore. What the fuck part of this does not people process? You are now a successful person with a lot of money and a lot of status.
Because the store was
You're
open.
not
Cowboy
normal
could have gave that same
Yo,
no.
No, you're not normal anymore, so you can't just pull up nowhere.
Hey, Vag.
That's all.
But some people
will always be ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Just because just because people see your celebrity, sometimes you don't see yourself the same way.
I don't know.
You still see yourself as Nip to where it's like, okay, I grew up over here. I can come over here whenever I want to.
I understand that too, but then that's still not because you're not Nip anymore. You're Nip, but you're Nip.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right, but that's just the mentality that they have. All these people that came to their own neighborhood, nobody had armed security with them. They were just out there chilling, either with regular motherfuckers or they was by themselves. So they basically left themselves like a sit up for something like that to happen.
Yeah, I don't think that I would.
Vag.
Necessarily be outside, I guess.
When the nigga came and we chopped it up and then he left and came back, it's like, hold up. This nigga back like, oh, nah, this shit ain't like, yo.
It's really crazy, though, that you just can't get that comfortable. You can't.
Definitely.
He literally showed us better.
And it's crazy because he was the one telling people to stay dangerous in his music and he didn't listen to his own advice.
He didn't even take his own advice, which was even worse. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not bashing the man because he wasn't the only one that we was talking about, but it was like, that somebody big that we lost in a way that we didn't have.
Hey,
when I think about it though, it bring up something. And like I said, me and Trey talked about this. It bring up like the I guess you could say the contradiction in it about how I was like, I don't think y'all cats ever had a code because let's be real, Justin Bieber could have opened that store. He can walk around South Central LA safe as fuck. Nobody touching him. And then cats from the street want to act tough, but then you get pulled over by the cops and you let that cop rub all up on your nuts and check it for a weapon. You know, wild out on him. You know, wild out on him.
They might have would have got robbed or something like that just because it was in the hood. But other than that, yeah, ain't nobody.
How many cats on O-Block getting unalived every day? But a Chicago police officer ain't got unalived in like 25 years by a street. Hold on now. You ain't getting bucked with them.
Exactly, yeah.
So So there's no and Nick got taken out by a dude from his own set. So
Like you said, what happens to the bro code and the street code, and that's obviously not relevant at all. Which is why
there's no code to it. There's no code to it. That's why Cass is like. That's why
that did it. He wasn't that type. You know what I mean? He was already out of his mind anyway. And on drugs. That had a lot to do with it too.
But and they go right back to what we said earlier, babe. We let it go too because we knew what type. Like that's around the hood knew what type of dude he was, and we all turned our back on it until now. Because let's be real. Because I heard Nick called him a snitch or something like that. You know what I mean? And then he came back and handled his business. Let's be real. If that wasn't Nick, that was just some random dude.
Niggas wouldn't have gave a fuck.
We would have said, Josh, you should have called him a snitch. But now that it's Nipsey, it's all messed up.
why
You know what I mean? So that's
made
so
you
that's
that
what
mad
so
that
that's
you had
what
to chill over it? You was really that mad. Like,
Supposedly,
he was out of his mind.
Yeah.
they said they started arguing over this shit and they slapped him.
made, and that's fine. But if you got bitch made that you literally killed someone because they called you a snitch, you was a bitch, motherfucker. There's no other explanation needed. You was a bitch ass nigga. Because words is like, come on, really?
And especially if I know it's not true.
Yo, get out of here. He's corny, bro.
All right, let me let's reset real quick. Let's reset real quick. All right, so look, right now we're talking about the whole thing of rappers saying F the streets after the whole Young Thug thing going on. So we just want to make sure that everybody's up to date, you know what I mean, or up to speed. What they're basically saying is this, like, yo, there's a code to the streets that certain people follow, which they'll break to save their own ass. So really, when people are saying F the streets, is really us condoning it by boosting the music up. You know what I'm saying? But Veg, a question from Facebook came in, and I guess they want you to answer it. Yo, they say, yo, you mess with a lot of artists. You in the car, you're driving, your artist is holding something. Boom, car gets pulled over. He asks you to hold it. What do you do?
He actually hold it.
Pause. Yeah, but yeah, he asks you to hold the package for him. What do you do?
Well, he already know I'm not. That's your shit, bro. But I'm not. Now, I'm supposed to be your phone guy. Now that's your shit.
You ain't gonna be the little Woody.
You get like, look, yo, this is my shit. My man don't have nothing to do with that because that's the same thing I'm gonna do if I get cool with that. And you in the car with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not letting you go down for my shit. I would respect the same. I would expect the same thing from you in return. But all the time you ain't gonna get there.
One more. There's one last question coming in from Facebook. You're in the studio. Your artist has another artist come in for a feature. Major artist comes in. All of a sudden, the studio gets raided. Everybody gets locked up. Do you say that is not yours, or should the person own up to it?
I mean, the person should own up to it.
Madam Mysterious, what you think?
The person should own up to it is yours. It ain't mine. Damn.
Some guy.
You should own up to it.
I mean, you gotta stand on business. You bought that in here.
You chose to have it at the studio, knowing that you put other people in jeopardy.
That's not my fault. And now you got
I'm not telling on you, nigga, but I'm gonna give you a chance.
I ain't no bitch, but I ain't. It ain't mine. It's always what it is. It ain't mine. That's the statement that I'm giving. It ain't mine.
But it go to something like, like a point that I was just trying to get at earlier. It's like part of the reason why, at least me, I say F the streets, is because it's like built off a house of cards. It's built off contradictions. It's built off like it's antithetical to how human beings even function. You know what I mean? So it's going no matter what rules that we try to apply, it's going to turn out toxic. It's going to turn out toxic.
Like, for an example, go ahead. I'd love to cut you up. I want to say something with you done.
Yeah, but it's just gonna turn out toxic. And going back to like what we were talking about with Nick, though, real quick, that's the problem. Is we expect one dude to come in and save it. We expect the leader to come in and save it. When in reality, it's all of us that's gonna have to do it, because we shouldn't have to make a decision to leave our people or leave our neighborhoods when we get money. White people don't do that. White people don't who grow up in Berkeley don't be like, oh, got money now, I gotta move from Berkeley. We do that. And then when you move into a white neighborhood, it's just a different jungle with different predators that operate differently. You know what I mean? So that's why a lot of people don't want to leave the hood. But like going back to like I'm saying, like it's
A lot of people don't want to leave the hood because they just don't want to see reality and be responsible adults.
But like Zane said, most people in the hood is 9 to 5 dudes. Most people in the hood is 9 to 5 people just working. Not everybody doing that street stuff. But if we gonna fix that, it come to us. It come to like that dude who shot Nipsey should have been handled a long time ago. That's our failure. That's our failure. What happened what's going on in the streets and why it ain't getting fixed is our failure. Normal dudes, everybody, because we all turn a blind eye to it, or we all contribute to it when it benefit us, and then turn our back to it when it don't. You know what I mean? So we all got to take that level of accountability. That neighborhood should have been safe for Nipsey to just pull up, just like he was pulling up in Costa Mesa or somewhere. It should be the same thing, but it's not, partly because of us. Partly because
Hey, some guy.
Going back to the whole thing. That I don't know if y'all seen the interview with 21 Savage and Big Ben.
Yeah.
Y'all see that? So when he was saying about the whole thing, if him and Bank robbed somebody, right? And now they pulled 21 Savage in there. 21 Savage like, nah, like yo, Bank ain't robbed that person. Bank was home asleep. So Bank is saying like, yo, nigga, you basically told on me because what if I didn't say that? You know what I mean? So in that situation, he gave up information, figuring, okay, me telling the police this is gonna help clear my man's name. But everybody looked at that like, oh, nigga, like, yeah, you just snitched on a nigga, you shouldn't have said nothing.
Hey, some guy.
Why are you telling what? Like, what was the purpose of telling anything? I don't really know.
It's like, okay, if me and you go do something or whatever, you don't get locked up. I get locked up and they put me in it and like, okay, well, yo, I heard you and Madam Mysterious have robbed Chase Bank last night, and I'm like, nah, Madam Mysterious wasn't there. She was home asleep.
And that's it.
That's giving you an alibi and taking you away from the crime scene at that time. But in the same token, I'm wrong for even saying that because, like Bank said, how do I know what you told the police?
Which is why it's always.
You know what I'm saying? You might have told the police that you was at a club till 2, 3 in the morning, and I'm saying that I talked to you when you was home asleep.
Some guy.
Well, I already know just based on what I said.
Well, I was never
know that hold up, some man right here.
like that because I'm not stupid, but whatever. We're not even gonna.
The real answer to that question is y'all shouldn't say nothing.
I don't know what
you don't got it. Talk to the cops.
Yeah, that was my whole thing.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's it.
That's what I was telling everybody. Like, yeah, that nigga didn't snitch on you, but him being a street dude and you being a street dude, he already know you have the right to remain silent. Anything you do or say will be used against you.
Your mouth closed, and that's it.
Only thing you do to get you in that room. Hold up, you questioning me about a robbery? Can I have my lawyer in here, please? Whatever your lawyer instruct you to do, if your lawyer don't instruct you to talk to them people, you don't say shit.
Hey, yo, some guy, real quick. When you said what you said, right? Listening to the conversation, yo, you know what I just realized?
What up?
You are absolutely right. We tricking ourselves. You know why? We look up to these gangsters. We look up to these people who are in the streets doing the reckless stuff, not going nowhere. And it's a handful that actually make it out of the game to be on some successful stuff. You know who these people are trying to get the money from? They're trying to get the money from the people who are not in the streets, who went to college, who know what to do with the money, and they begging and sucking, kissing, and doing a lot for that money. Because you know why? Those are the real gangsters.
Those are the real OGs.
Them billionaires and millionaires that these rappers and these gangsters want to be like, who they really want to be like?
I'm glad that you said that because I think we got the definition of what a real gangster is twisted. A real gangster ain't a street nigga in the first place. A real gangster is not a street person. A real gangster is somebody that take care of their family, they handle their business, and they keep people out of their business. They're not flashy. They don't go around talking about how much money they got. They don't go around talking about how many people they killed, how many chicks that they fuck. You know what I'm saying? They keep everything under wraps and they handle their business. So when you see them, you know they're successful, but you might not know what that man does for a living. But you know he does something successful, and that's it.
Yeah, most of the ones that are successful like that up high, you don't even know a face or a name. You don't.
Gangster could be standing right next to you on Walmart. You would never even know.
Yep, they be real discreet. That's very true.
Am I lying though? Some guy?
Nah.
Everybody who starts a rap career, right? They want to be on a major label. Who owns the major labels?
The small print, a little hat.
Anybody? Is there anybody that ever sold drugs, got bodies, did hood shit? Are they owning? They running the labels?
Rockefeller and No Limit.
Rockefeller was under Def Jam, cuz. We're not gonna do that.
They didn't get the Def Jam until like 99. You talking about they came out independent first.
We talking major. They didn't want to be independent. They wanted to be major. We talking major money, cuz.
They still have records with Biggie and everything.
We talking major. We talking $1 million, cuz. They didn't have millions of dollars, cuz.
Yes, they did. How you think they started the label? They put their money together.
You hold up. You telling me Jay-Z? You telling me Rockefeller started with $1 million?
It had to be. It had to be close to $1 million.
Yeah, this was the 90s. He could have started with a lot less back then.
Yeah, you didn't need as much. I definitely could say that Master P and them probably did.
My thing is this though. My thing is this. Check this out. Hold up. If it was like that, right? If it was like that, Dame Dash would have never said I was shopping Jay-Z to major labels.
Because the major labels didn't want to sign him, but they had the money to start their own label.
But they needed that money.
They needed that boost from because the major labels was a guarantee.
They only needed that money for promotion. They could have ran the label off the money that they had, but they, you know what I'm saying? They knew the
This is the misconception. This is the misconception though. The story that they told us, the Jay-Z, yeah, 99, I came in the game 100 grand strong. That's the misconception.
Because you misunderstanding what they're saying. Them trying to get Jay-Z signed with them trying to get their whole label signed. They were trying to get Rockefeller signed through Jay-Z. It wasn't that they were just trying to bring Jay-Z as a solo artist to Def Jam to sign him. They were trying to get their label signed. And at that time, shit like that really wasn't heard of. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like some of the first people to really do that shit.
You remember when Russell Simmons? All right, yo, this is what I'm saying. Don't be fooled by this.
Let's concede that. All right, so two. We got two labels that technically ain't even around no more. You know, we're gonna be
okay.
Man, like none of when last time a No Limit artist that sold some records. When last time?
I guess we can throw cash money in there too. Then
You can't, because they still needed major label money.
But he started Cash Money Records with street money. That's what I'm saying. They already had their labels. They were just trying to get their label signed to a major label to have more money to promote their artists. You're not wrong for that. That don't mean that.
He's not saying they're wrong. He's just saying like
that's just like
somebody
people that have
above
the bank.
has
They still go to the bank and get a loan from the bank. That don't mean that they're broke. They're just playing with the bank's money. Who ain't gonna do that?
I mean, a lot of the reason why we don't have the labels of our own is because we really just didn't have the coin to.
Yo, why is there no black on label?
Because you mean to tell me what you think Def Jam was?
Kevin Liles was a part of Def Jam.
Kevin Liles came way after. Def Jam was
more so because they don't have the money to back it, and
Russell Simmons
tied up with like this. That is, black people be hating on each other and they won't even support.
You have plenty of black people. You have Uptown Records, Arthur and Rub, Black Man running a label by himself, Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, Heavy PD. We always have black labels, yo.
Yeah, but until it was fine until they started getting the YT people involved. For some reason, we feel like we need their approval for everything.
It wasn't the approval. They just knew. They knew like, okay.
No, it is. It is. It's been that way since segregation. Damn it. Why we gotta go eat at their restaurant? Why we gotta drink out their water
I'm
fountain?
gonna tell you why.
Why we gotta
every
go to
time,
their school?
every
Why
time
can't we do it
build
our
our
own?
own shit. Every time, okay, well, we had Seneca Village. What's there now? Central Park. They burnt that shit down.
They gonna burn it down. And that's exactly why we'll never be able to have our own, because they're gonna figure out a way to burn it down. Okay.
So yeah, so it's not that we haven't been trying for years.
For years, but it's gonna always figure out a way to burn it down.
Because you got to think about it. We were the first to have our own because we were the first people here. So we always had our own thing. And we just got tricked out of our spot, and we haven't found a way to get back to where we once were.
Yeah, but even when we were tricked out of it and all of that, and we still, for some reason, always need their approval for everything we do. And that's crazy.
Because that's the only way that they're going to allow. That's the only way they're going to allow us to play the game at that high corporate level like that. We're going to need some of their approval. Because the rich people are not pulling their resources together how we used to do back in the day. I really believe like if that happens now, it might be possible, but people are going by what we're saying. Like, okay, it happened before. They burned it down. We had Black Wall Street, it burned it down. So they figure like, why even try anymore? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just worry about me and the people around me, and that's it. So nobody have a community, like some guy was saying. People just thinking.
Hey, this is a billboard. This.
Yeah, I get that part. Like it'll never make me happy. You're just like in this little tiny circle.
No, like I think y'all both are both right to a certain degree. Like we also gotta realize that you know what I mean? Like everything. But like I think the move that Jay-Z and them did was the correct move for the time, because on some level you can't expect, you start way behind the 8 ball, and yet hip hop was getting big. I couldn't expect like these dudes to build record labels that could compete with RCA or the major record labels at the time in that moment in time. But like things sometimes take generations, and we got to understand that. Like we is too much of a community, but I think our biggest problem is we get caught up on quick money and not good money, and not having a long game. When it thinks about, that's some of the stuff that Tupac was talking about, like having a long game about this shit.
It's just not a long game. Look at him in the long run.
Look at him in the long run. Exactly. That's one thing. Like as much as like I said, like the dude smart. Like I get it like that. Like I get him like what he was doing. But like it's like, remember that dude who did the Big Baller brand, Lonzo Ball? Yeah. Or Lonzo, his son's Lonzo. I forget his name.
Now you're talking about
LeVar Ball, yeah. But you know what I mean? The idea was correct. To do his own shoes and to do all that. But where he misstepped was, dog, you weren't financially at that label to build shoes and to go at Nike. You messed up by telling your son not to sign to Nike. Your son should have signed to Nike. Y'all should have invested your money and, like I said, played the long game, and then made your own shoe
company. Yeah, exactly. Because now you got the money.
You know what I mean?
You got more money and resources now. Yep, you're right.
So he played the game too quickly. Jay-Z and them had the right idea. Like, they weren't going from the streets, start a label that's going to be able to compete against that. You going to get somebody that got too much. That's like thinking we're going to start a small business that's going to compete with Amazon. Like, nah, if you're ever going to build anything that's going to compete with Amazon.
It's like, okay, we got enough money to start the company. Now we're going to the bank to get funded. And that's all labels were doing. That's all independent labels were doing by going to the labels. They were just getting funded that they was going to need anyway.
I get what you're saying. But again, Russell Simmons, you said Russell Simmons, right? It wasn't Russell Simmons.
It was him and Rick Rubin that started Def Jam, and then he sold the company.
They was just the idea guys. The money actually came from Rick Rubin's parents.
Well, they still gave it to their son, just like Donald Trump's dad gave him money. It's still his money. Give it to you.
But you're not getting what I'm saying.
They still didn't go to no label to start that label. His parents gave him money, just like Barry Gordy's parents gave him the money to start the Motown. He didn't go to another label to start a label. They started the label with their own money. Like what you're not realizing with that, he was black. He owned half that company. That's not a black record label. Come on, cuz.
But yeah, that's just the right move to make. You gotta remember, like I told you, Trey. Remember, like I'll never forget this dude named B.O.E.J. Wilson said this. He said in Aikido, that's that fighting. It's a fighting style, and like all those martial arts, they come with a philosophy. You know what I mean? And they say in Aikido, they say the best weapon you can have is an accurate assessment of your situation. And it's something I'll never forget because it's just like if you're gonna go into a fight and you fighting two dudes and you don't assess they fighting style or you don't assess their ability to fight and yours properly, you messed up already because if I'm not at the level to take these two dudes out, I messed up right there by engaging them. Like the best move is to I gotta retreat. You gotta back down. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying that to say this. Is Jay-Z and them, they made the right decision. They assessed their situation properly. Like, hey man, with this money we got, this couple $100,000 maybe, that ain't nothing. RCA's dealing with 50 million, 100 million, 200 million. I can't compete with them. You got to go get funded with them, and then in the long run be able to compete with them. You know what I mean?
Think about it, and then being an independent record label, they already know hip hop better than the major labels.
Mm-hmm.
Now with the major label budget, they're more dangerous than the major label.
Mm-hmm.
They're the reason why everybody started coming to Def Jam because they followed them to Def Jam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I just think like we want to jump. It's like a dude who playing on his high school basketball team and he the best on his basketball team and he worried about getting to the NBA and it's just like nah. You need to be worried about college. You need to be worried about right now. You need to be worried. You skipping steps worrying about the NBA. I mean, you getting the long game is to get to the NBA, but you got to focus on where you at right now. You're not ready to compete in the NBA right now. You got to make sure you're ready to compete where you at now. And I think they did the same thing. And I think we got to do that. Well, not just when it comes to music. We got to do that with everything. Yeah, like I said, all is important.
Like you got to know how to play the game. You got to know how to play the game to your advantage. Mm-hmm. Because that's what they've been doing with us all these years. They've been playing us to their advantage.
Mm-hmm. They always had a long game, and we don't have one. We get too caught up on quick money, and that's with life. Like let's X out.
They use
let's X out labels. Let's X out labels
for the industry, what it is to this day, yo. Mm-hmm. They use the music that we listen to send us to jail off of that music,
and making money off that, and making money off sending you to jail. You know what I mean? So they always have a long game.
Who's the real criminal? Who's the real gangster? It's them. Mm-hmm. We just calling ourselves gangsters and all that shit. Ain't nobody on the street like a real gangster.
Keep on falling into the trap that is so.
Yeah, nigga. We gotta stop calling our people dumb. It's a good trap. You know what I mean? It's like when you look at the nature videos and that elk is drinking. Yeah, that elk is drinking out the water, and then that crocodile jump up and grab it. It's like the crocodile set a perfect trap and got it. Like you can't be like, man, that elk is dumb. Like, nah, it's camouflage. It's a very well set up trap. They give you a little bit of money, pick your ego up. You young, you grew up poor. You know, like you're gonna turn that couple $100,000 down. That's more money than you ever had in your life. You know, like you gonna go and do some dumb stuff, but by the time you realize it, it's gonna be too late. It's too late. Like any good trap.
You done sold out already. You gave it up.
Yeah, but that's quite sad. That like I always say that people do some strange things for the change. Like you just never know how much money does it take for one to break. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know.
Just like the conversation we had last live, like
yeah,
what you sucking dick for? Like, I mean,
most people would go ahead with it. They ain't never had that kind of.
That's a lot of price.
Do whatever for it.
They say not 1 billion, but 2 billion. Oh,
and nobody can tell me nothing. Like I said, as soon as I get my 2 billion, because like, oh, you're trying to tell me something. Like, broke niggas' opinions don't matter. Shut up.
At that point,
I think I'm about to go talk to my therapist.
You know, but it's like I said, like that's why we gotta
about to get hypnotized and forget about this.
Okay, straight up. And I'm okay.
We gotta bridge that gap. We gotta understand it's all of us that's important. All of us gotta fix this problem. Realize how we contribute to it, how we grow. But going back to the original point, I think what Jay-Z did That's why look at Dame Dash. Why Dame Dash broke? Why
He don't want to work with nobody. He don't want to work with nobody. He want everybody to work for him, and it's never going to be like that, my nigga. You don't even have enough money for everybody to work for you. You can't pay everybody.
Sometimes you gonna work for somebody. Sometimes somebody gonna work for you.
Like perfect example with Dame Dash. Remember, I don't know if y'all remember that TV show on BET Tales. When it was like reenacting the hip hop songs and shit. Well, Herb Gotti, you know that was his show or whatever. So he came to Dame Dash. He was like, "Look, I know you're doing your thing like in the TV shit, so I'm gonna allow you to direct the episode of Tales or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pay you for it and everything." So Dame was like, "All right, I'll do it." He was like, "But then I'm gonna turn it into a movie and put it on my channel." He was like, "Look," he was like, "It's not me paying you." He was like, "It's BET paying you. Can't do that." So he was like, "Oh, if I can't do it the way I want, I'm not gonna do it then." So he missing out on millions just because he can't.
But that was a dumb decision that he made, and now
he would have been able to pay his taxes off with that fucking money. He would have never had to file bankruptcy. Come on, man.
that was just a bad business decision that he made.
Somebody's handing you money that wasn't there. That's you know what I mean? That shit just came out of the thin air to do something that you already do. And they're paying you millions and you're like, no, because I can't put it on my network. I get it. You about ownership, but what's 100% of nothing?
Yeah, but how are you owning something? How are you trying to take ownership over something that isn't even yours? Come on now.
Because nobody's gonna want to work with it. But now
your idea was somebody else's and they bought you in on it, and now you want to
give
build
Lee
their
Daniels $1
idea.
million. You gave Lee Daniels $1 million to do impressions, right? Then he raps that man for his money back. Finally got the money back, and then you still went broke.
You know what I mean? Like
that man paid you your money back, and you still went fucking broke, bro.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
that's like, yeah, man, ain't no.
He has the worst mentality. He handles corporate business like a nigga on a block selling coke. You can't do that. Talk about, I flip all my money. So you made $1 million, you're gonna flip the whole million. What if that shit don't go right?
Not every business don't work out like that. The whole business.
You don't want to work for nobody. Where are you getting this money from? Because the money must be coming from. Oh no, he got that other business from his first wife. So he make money off of that shit.
You know, it's like straight up. I see why Jay cut ties from him. Because it's just a bad business. And Jay realized it.
When they yelling at motherfuckers, for calling the Jay-Z meeting, and Jay-Z was the one that called the meeting.
All right, before we if we get too far off, I want to ask y'all another question on a trending topic. Blueface just came home, and DJ Academic said this. He said, if you're a gangster rapper, you should not be on streams with other people that make more money than you, because it takes away from your gangster persona of you being this gangster rapper. What do you think? What do you think?
You a gangster, you can't have money. Come on, get the fuck out.
That's not what I said.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying academics. Like, how would he even say that?
So that's like this. Hold on. That's like Blueface going up to Aiden Ross, right? Aiden Ross is not a gangster, but he makes way more money than Blueface ever would. So he can tell Blueface whatever the fuck he wants.
Like what do you mean?
Like if he like, yo, I can pay for you. Like, yo, if you're not doing good, I can pay you to either come on my stream and do what I tell you to do. Like, yo, drink this, drink this, do this, do that. You get what I'm saying? So what he's saying is, as a gangster rapper, you shouldn't do these things. And the only two people who said something about it was Blueface and, of course, our homeboy, Soulja Boy.
I don't think that would like tarnish your brand or like make you look less than a streamer, because it's like, okay, y'all getting y'all money different ways, and everybody knows there's more money in like content than there is in music right now. So I would expect the content creator to have more money than a rapper right now, especially somebody like Blueface. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it wouldn't matter. Networking is networking and stuff, so that doesn't matter.
I feel like
shit don't even. What he said don't even make sense to me
at all.
I feel like that.
I'm gonna break it down as soon as y'all finish. That's why I'm letting y'all finish.
break it down, please.
You ready?
Break it down, please.
All right. So, do y'all remember the Wu-Tang Clan?
Yeah.
What made Ghostface so cool?
That nigga jewelry.
Style.
His mystery, his swag.
Ding, 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 ding. We did not see Ghostface's face. No matter why he did it, the allure of who Ghostface was, everybody just wanted to know what he looked like.
But that worked back in the day.
Hold up. Then you got somebody like I don't know if y'all all know who Cardi is, the rapper Cardi.
Playboy Cardi.
Yeah. Then you got somebody like who was one of the biggest rap star in Travis Scott. But as soon as what happened, he got on with somebody that was looked at as supposed to be less than, and when he got punked by that, that allure got taken away. So it's no more cool. That's like us seeing Pac get knocked out numerous times. Are we still gonna think Pac is this gangster?
I mean, we knew that he wasn't though. You know what I mean? That's been documented that he wasn't. So
I get what you mean.
I see what you're saying, but I feel like getting on the stream, with a stream, I don't feel like that. No matter who you are, just you up there to push your brand. So I feel like as an artist, that's what you're supposed to be doing. You need to be getting on as many platforms as you can.
Especially bigger platforms, because that's opening yourself up to bigger audiences.
Yeah, why wouldn't I want to be on academics just because I'm a part of a street background? He might not be, but shit, that's opened me up to people who don't even subscribe to what I got going on. Now they know who I am now just because I got up there with academics.
That's cool, but now check this out. Who did that just help? You saying it helped the artists, right?
Both parties, because now you're gaining fans as well as the other person. It would help both parties.
And that's the shit that he's saying is that that's the misconception. Matter of fact, I'm screen recording this, so
I think it depends on who it is, who the artist is, though.
I'm screen recording this. So after y'all hear this part right here, a clip of DJ Academics breaking it down should come up too. And just see if it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Don't take what I'm saying or what my co-hosts are saying. Like I said, we're just having a conversation to throw stuff out there to make you think about what's going on, either within the entertainment industry or out here on these streets. All right, my bad. Let's go. Oh, everybody got quiet? What happened?
Well, listen.
I'm listening.
Man, what you talking about?
All right, look. So basically, it's like this. Did that Young Thug interview help him, or did that hurt him?
Is it because he made an idiot of himself, or by what he may have said or done?
Madam Mysterious.
The whole do shit, or which interview?
That interview.
Did an interview with somebody else that happened to me, because you could have went up there and did some dumb stuff and made a fool of yourself. Like, we don't know what it was that made it good or bad for him. I don't know that I've seen the whole interview. I saw like little clips, but I just feel like usually collaborations with both parties, I'm surprised that it did not.
All I'm saying.
Soulja Boy has a way of doing stuff that is a bit out there, and he be rubbing people the wrong way apparently, and it just be like, what about? But
I think that's the way. I think he uses that as a tool to stay relevant, though. He know what he's doing.
True. But I think that at this point in life, people are over the goofy stuff, and it may not be worth it.
You know, you gotta remember he learned the game a lot earlier than a lot of other artists. So he been had shit like that in his arsenal. You know what I mean? Like, all I gotta do is say and do a certain thing, and now all the attention's gonna be on me right now.
I get what you said, but Veg, remember we was talking earlier, right? Leave her alone. the whole thing is when we were talking, right? We said the whole time when Young Thug was calling Gunner a snitch, Lil Baby was calling him a snitch. All these rappers was calling him a snitch. He never went on a platform to defend himself. He never went on a platform to defend himself. He just put the music out, let people say what they say. And people started messing with him more by not saying nothing. But Young Thug, as soon as he came out and he started running his mouth, hold up. He started running his mouth. Now all of a sudden we got this conversation of F the streets. Because he made himself look stupid on his stream. When, like Academic said, instead of you trying to be running to these podcasts and stuff like that, sometimes y'all just need to chill, yo. Because if you already went in there and said too much, what makes you think you're not gonna get in front of somebody else you feel comfortable with and not say too much?
And it's just like even with the AR Ab Vlad TV situation.
That is a great example. That was a great example, cause
like he didn't tell, but he basically sat up there and self-incriminated himself by giving too much of his backstory in the street.
And look at his allure before anybody even knew who AR Ab was. It was the mystery of who AR Ab was. We just heard the stories of it.
Yeah, so now once you get up here and really start telling your real story, everybody's like, oh shit, so everything we heard about this nigga was true. You know what I'm saying?
So why is he not in jail? And now look what happened. Now look what happened.
Like I said, that's why people can't say that Vlad is the police, because people willingly get up there and give up this information knowing that it's being recorded and it's going to be put out.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're a gangster rapper,
that's no different than you going to the police station and they put the recorder on and you start talking, knowing that this shit is going to end up in transcript later on. And then you're looking at this shit like, oh, I ain't telling on myself. I ain't telling on nobody. Like you done sat there on camera and pointed that skinny thing talking about, oh, I was with him when he did it. Like unaliving somebody has statute of limitations to. Somebody can find that video 30 years from now, and you're an old ass man somewhere, and they come to lock you the fuck up.
But I feel like that's the whistling that he was going at. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're this gangster rapper, you put it out there that you slid, you sold drugs and stuff like that. You really shouldn't be trying to get on a podcast or stream and be talking about that kind of stuff.
Well, okay, so now we're talking about Vlad TV. I don't know if y'all seen one of the new interviews that he did with the nigga Neckbone from My Paru that was down with that bro. If you look at his interview, that's the best way to do a Vlad TV interview. When Vlad got to certain things that he didn't want to talk about, he just told him like, nah, I ain't gonna talk about that. Going to the next thing. Like he wasn't
literally just get the question.
He wasn't allowing Vlad to talk about anything that he wasn't comfortable sharing on camera.
That's fine.
He even lied about the whole Tupac thing. He was like, yeah, they asked him about Tupac being down with Mob, and he was like, nah. He said Pac wasn't. And he was like, well, what about the tattoo and all this? Like he wasn't allowing Vlad to pick his brain like that. Like if I don't want to talk about it, I ain't talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you need to do it. Like yeah, go on the platform, use it to promote your brand, but don't have that platform be the reason why you go to jail, or like you said, make yourself look goofy to the point that now you are tarnishing your brand by getting up there saying the wrong thing. It's not about going on the platform, it's about what you're saying while you up there.
That's the way. There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like perfect example, the nigga from the New Boys. Remember when he went up there talking about when he shot the dude that broke in his house?
Yep.
Did you ever see him on any other interviews ever again after that? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because you made yourself look crazy. Nobody wants to deal with somebody sitting there crying and you talking. Then you had enough heart to shoot this motherfucker, but you can't sit up there and talk about it on camera now. You ain't commit no crime because he broke in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't even telling something that you could go to jail about. You sitting there like, oh, I ain't want to have to do it, but I did it. Like, man, shut your bitch ass down.
Some
think they was going to do to you if they got a hold of your gun.
Some guy can answer this. Some guy can answer this when he get back. Madam Mysterious, Garcia Vega, I want to ask you, who was the 2025 Troll of the Year?
Yo, I'm here. 50 motherfucking cent Curtis Jackson, aka Cuckoo.
This guy.
Oh, hold up. But honorable mention Remy Ma too.
Okay.
She got her coat on like a motherfucker this year.
Okay. What you think, madam? I hear you.
Female troll Remy, male troll is 50 Cent.
I don't know. The whole internet was off the hook.
Oh, damn, I messed up. I picked the wrong person. I think I could kind of throw Jim in there too. Jim been trolling a lot this year.
A lot of
Jim Jones been trolling a lot this year.
The internet was just wild this year.
Yeah, Jim had like half of the year just by his damn self. With the old Nas shit, and then the shit with him and Cam, the 50, like it just kept spiraling, going into the next thing. Where it still didn't stop. And yeah, he had the whole year. Because even the summer jam shit, they was piling at him. Like, yeah. But I think he was being trolled more than he was actually trolling.
Trolling.
You know?
True.
I have to give it to 50, yeah.
True.
50 got that for sure. And then Remy, I'll give it to Remy for the female. All right, so who y'all got? Ain't nobody say nothing.
The whole internet was trolling. Like, it was crazy. Everybody was acting up this year. I can't pinpoint.
Honorable mention Orlando Brown too. I forgot about my boy Orlando. Oh no! I know Cuz might not like this. You gotta give it to Ray J too, bro.
Nah, fuck Ray J.
He was saying a lot of crazy shit.
Fuck Ray J.
Ray J was trolling like a motherfucker this year, yo.
He was just bugging.
He said, I hit it.
Yo, I'm gonna give mine to 50 Cent, of course. And the next person is gonna be my man 6ix9ine, yo.
Oh yeah, see, but you know, I really don't subscribe to him like that. But I've been seeing some of his stuff. But no, I can't even really say that he's trolling, because a lot of shit that he was saying was like he's doing it in a trolling way. But everything he's saying is true though.
It was true. Yeah.
Everything he's saying is true. It's like y'all pick and choose. Now that Atlanta got the snitch jacket, y'all want to choose not to see that now. But anytime somebody from New York do something, there's a spotlight on that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like how many years have they been saying Big U was a snitch? This person is a snitch on the West Coast. That shit don't get thrown all the way across the world. As soon as somebody from New York, but then they say, oh, New York don't run hip hop. Why everybody still paying attention to New York then? You know what I'm saying? Everybody that everybody's trolling right now is a New York rapper, right?
Fact.
Yeah.
Everybody's trolling is a New York rapper. Even Lil Yachty was trying to say, oh yeah, New York can't dress and they slang is our slang and all that shit. All that Atlanta slang, that's old New York slang. Niggas been saying twin since the fucking late 90s.
I mean, y'all are so late in the old time, back in ancient.
Come on, Nori started slime back in the mid 90s.
Hey yo,
real late.
I wanna Madam Mysterious. You posted something that cracked me up. I mean, it tore my stomach up. Yo, she said, why is it that men these days don't have muscles?
Look, I was about to say, I know you fucking lying. I might got some fat on his body, but there's some muscle on his body.
No, but I'm just saying, like, back in the day, the guys had a little more physique going and they were a little chiseled.
Now, you know what I think it is?
A six-pack was definitely happening back then.
I'm going to tell you right now.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm going to tell you right now. Niggas is snitching more and they're going to jail less. That's why.
Where did they go? Because men used to be a lot more muscular back then.
Niggas is snitching more and going to jail less. That's why. They snitching more and they going to jail less. You know, niggas go home, they have that jail body, they come home, they might get the gym membership or something. Now niggas just straight snitching. They just straight snitching. They come on, they just getting out the same day. They going back to, eating them seafood boils and, Popeyes and, Bojangles and, and even the Bojangles in Jersey now, so they up there almost on the road.
Oh, honey.
The Bojangles fighting over them chicken sandwiches and shit.
Because back, people were a little bit more physical, physically fit. And now it seems as though I don't see a lot of dudes got guts now. Like back then, guts was not a thing on men. And
They
now
got-
there's
they got
a
it to where
lot
you
of
don't even
men
have to do
with
push-ups
butts
no
and
more.
a lot of men with big butts too, which is
You don't even have to do
really
push-ups no
interesting.
more. They just got that little thing that you just squeeze together, and that shit pump up your chest. Like, what the fuck? You don't got to do crunches no more. You just strap this thing around your stomach, and I think just fucking just shake your stomach for fucking like 30
Yeah,
minutes, and then
that's crazy though.
they were
I
like,
don't
yeah,
wanna
that's like
do
doing
shit
1,000
like
crunches.
that.
Like I'm probably gonna get cancer from this shit. In like
That's
10
not
years.
right. That's not right. Y'all need to stop.
You are out of control, man. Out of
But I
fucking
think
control.
technology have a lot to do with people being less fit now, though. That
Move around and stuff, yeah. But I was just like really on men because as I look at men, like you used to tell a man make a muscle, there was a bump up there on the arm. Now there's nothing. It's just flat.
Oh nah, cuz you know what they say? You know, like weed is legal in a lot of places now. So they say that the more marijuana you smoke as a man, it puts more estrogen in your system.
Get out.
You look it up. That's a fact. Look it up. And also, when women drink soda, right? It's not the actual soda. It's from the plastic bottle. That shit puts testosterone in women's system.
Yeah, but that's why I don't use plastic stuff. I use
That's why most women that you drink. That's why most women that you see drink soda. I bet you they got some kind of hair on that face, or they got a deep voice. If they've been drinking soda like them their whole life, I'm telling you.
They're trying to eliminate people and make everybody a robot.
No, they try to demasculate men through marijuana, and they try to make women more masculine. That's what they're doing.
That's really sad. That's sick.
We all just experiments, yo. They just put us down here for an experiment, yo. We just gotta roll with it. And do the best thing you can do to stay healthy, because even the healthy shit ain't healthy no more.
Alright. I got one more question. Get ready to be 8 o'clock. Yo,
Go ahead,
who took the biggest L of 2025?
The biggest L? Oh, Diddy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, definitely Diddy, yeah.
Yeah.
He literally lost everything, and he got to do time. Like, he ain't get a slap on the wrist. And the crazy part about it, not to go into too much, if that would have been somebody of another race, he wouldn't have got that much time.
Yeah, Diddy only doing 4 years, man.
Yeah, he didn't really get no time.
But some guys, you got people that actually raped people, like physically, like rape people.
Like,
Hey yo.
Like people that SA. Nah, I mean, he wasn't. Them people was willing participants though for what he got convicted for. That's what I'm saying. The people was willing participants for what he got convicted for.
But he actually assaulted people that he didn't get convicted of. So
that's what I'm saying. We only got to go with what he was charged and convicted with at the time. That's what I'm saying. It's people that have been convicted of worse than what he did, and they got less time. And it wasn't on the federal level. You know like Diddy is the only person to be in a federal RICO by himself. RICO is meant for
organization. He'll be out too. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he right where he want to be in Fort Dix, ironically.
Hey yo.
You know what?
He's right in Fort Dix.
Yo.
I'm done.
Fort Dix, New Jersey. That's where he look, and then he requested to go to Fort Dix.
I'm good.
They didn't just place him there; he requested to go there.
I'm
So you know what type of time he having up in there. Yo, Diddy up in there partying for real.
I'm done with y'all. I'm so done. This is terrible.
Diddy up there dropping the soap every day.
Yeah, he telling, and somebody said,
Yeah, lunch.
Take that.
Yeah, lunch. Dropping the soap.
Hey yo, you know what they said? They said there's no more baby oil on commissary because Diddy got it. He bought it all.
Hey yo.
I know somebody that work at Fort Dix, man. They said there's no more baby oil. They said he ordered all the bottles of baby oil.
Allegedly. Hey, yo. Hey, yo, listen. I want
Johnson up in there.
I want to ask a question. We all know Blueface and Chrisean Rock both had a kid. Blueface recently was on an interview and he said, "Yo, he believes that it's okay for a mother to smoke weed during her pregnancy." What do y'all think?
Hey man, I think my mom was smoking a little weed when she was pregnant with me, so I mean I came out fine.
No comment.
Would you say so, guy?
No comment.
I don't think so. Yeah.
If that's all she doing though, like with like weed, cigarettes, Black and Miles, all of that, like smoking.
I mean, I've seen it where women have done it. They were really sick in their pregnancy, and they had a
That's the only way to eat.
Eat, so they did it. I don't know. I definitely don't think you should smoke cigarettes for sure. That's
because I see a lot of women that if they might smoke weed and cigarettes, they'll stop smoking cigarettes, but they'll keep smoking the weed. But they rolling the weed in blunt, so it's like you still smoking tobacco and weed.
It's not. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know.
People smoking joints, you know what I'm saying?
I definitely don't think you should smoke cigarettes or drink alcohol. That's
the 90s babies have Philly blunts in their system.
You are out of control, yo. You are out of control. Some guy was good with you, yo.
If you're a 90s baby, 9 times out of 10, you was born off of Philly blood. And Jody shit.
This guy is out of control. Some guy was good, yo.
125.
I think Blueface said it's all cool. It's okay. And like looking at his mama, I know she smoked weed when she was with him.
Yo, you know what he said he used to do, right? He said Blueface said his mom would like try to find rich guys to be with, so that they would have a better life and be able to get out the hood.
Oh no.
But she tried to find rich guys. I mean, you know. So I guess he basically saying his mom was a high class hoe.
I'm sorry.
No, yeah, she is a hood rat. That's what I'm saying. But she turned into a high class hoe to get them out of the hood. And he said it worked for a little while, but then they ended up back in the hood. So you know, I guess she didn't really know what she was doing.
I'm surprised cats would pay for that.
I mean, you never know how she might have looked back in the day, though. She might have been bad back in the day. You know, BDB don't look like how she used to look on Martin right now. You know what I'm saying?
She was always good looking though. You remember what she looked like on House Party?
Oh no, I'm not talking about Gina. Yeah, Gina always looked good, but
not Gina. No, I'm talking about Pam.
The Pam, but you think about the one that played Jodie mother on Baby Boy. She was in House Party. That wasn't BDB.
Yeah. Did you say woman? That wasn't Martin?
Nah. That was played Juanita and Baby Boy. She played Jodie Mom.
Yeah, only Tisha Campbell was in Baby Boy. I mean, House Party and Wilson and Martin.
Yeah, Tisha Campbell. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But BDB was bad back in the day. But she's not ugly now. But what I'm trying to make, like, she don't look the same as she used to look. So maybe Blueface mom might have fell off a little bit. It happens. You ever seen
a little retarded? So I think she smoked something. He a little off. So I think she smoked something when she was pregnant.
Well, yeah, probably. You know.
So, but like, just to be honest, you know, I don't know how this come off, but he's not exactly somebody I'm taking parenting advice from. You know, I'm just saying, like,
nigga, he got.
Hey, yo, that was funny as hell.
I ain't trying to really take no advice from him.
They said, what type of parent are you? He said, oh, I'm a fun dad. I said, oh, yeah, that nigga ain't no good. That means you just be that nigga, all he do is people please his kids, yo. You know what I'm saying? Probably turn them against the mom like that. like he seemed like yeah.
All right.
People you shouldn't listen to.
A little sports topic just came in. What do you guys think about Jake Paul losing and then saying that he took money to take the loss? So is that him saying that the rest of his fights were fixed fights?
I mean, I always thought that even from the Tyson fight. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyson didn't fight him how he was fighting during training. Tyson would have knocked him out if he really would have fought Jake Paul. And I think that's where the whole biting of the gloves came from, because we've been growing up watching Mike Tyson for years, and I've never seen him do that in the ring by his damn gloves until he fought him. So I felt that was like a way. He's like, damn, like I want to get this nigga.
He was biting ears instead, child.
That was good. That was a good one.
The gloves so he was biting ear.
That was a good one.
There was no way he was gonna beat Anthony Joshua.
No, he wasn't gonna beat no Anthony Joshua. I don't know.
We know that. You know what I mean? I'm just glad it happened the way it happened.
The Jake Paul got out of he doesn't even knows how to box in real life. Like, I don't know what he calls himself doing in that ring, but it ain't boxing. And he just get in there and get checks. Okay.
Because the night of that fight, I was at Cousin Don's house, right? And you know, Cousin Don have like middle school, almost high school age kids, right? So I asked one of my little cousins, I'm like, yo, I said, did you know who Jake Paul was before he started fighting? And he was like, yeah. I said, how'd you know who he was? He was like, he's a famous YouTuber. So that's why Jake Paul can sell so many fights. Because people that watch him from YouTube and come out and watch him fight too. Not just people that like boxing, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like what they try to do with the Swifties with football, how she's at every Kansas City game because she's with old boy.
Mm-hmm.
They try to introduce her, like her fans that might not watch football, now they watch the game because they know Taylor Swift wants to.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like,
That's great.
I don't know. Bout's the name of the game, bro. Nowadays, you can just a YouTuber can do anything.
Yeah, YouTubers is like actually like the new rock stars now. When you think so, like kind of like that. Like streamers, YouTubers, like they like Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is probably just as popular as Jay-Z right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Probably just as known as Snoop Dogg is. Mr. Beast. You say Mr. Beast to any kid, they know who that man is, yo. I don't care how young they are.
They know who that is.
Yeah, they know that's the rich dude that's on YouTube. Like even if that's all they know who he is.
So, yo, we talked about this 2 Sundays ago, and now we're just gonna bring it back up. We're getting ready to run. We ran a little bit over time, but I still want to get this in. Some guy and Madam Mysterious both know the story. We don't know if Garcia Vega knows the story yet, but we're gonna know if he knows about it now. So reports just came in by TMZ that is likely that DV4D is going to be locked up for the Celeste Rivas being found in his Tesla's front trunk. I just want to know, have you guys still been up on this case, and what do you think about this case so far?
So somebody was found unalive in his trunk.
It was a rapper or singer.
Wow.
Right around the corner from some guy too.
He was on tour getting busy while she was rocking in the trunk, child. I just can't.
Remember what Samuel?
I don't even understand how he was able to go on tour if he was a suspect in a murder. How did they let him?
Remember what Samuel Jackson said on The Time to Kill?
Go on tour. I don't really understand that.
I hope he burns in hell.
Just innocent until proven guilty too, right?
Yeah, true.
True.
Yeah, that was wild. I think that
he should burn in hell.
Crazy, and
because you don't ruin this girl's life.
It was really crazy, and I just don't think how he was able to even go on tour with that type of.
I don't think he was a suspect. I think
Madam, I'm pretty sure you know some crazy people.
At first, yeah.
Yeah, he's one of them.
No, yeah, absolutely. Some guy, you're right. At first, he wasn't a suspect. That's why he was able to still.
She was just a missing person. She was just a missing person.
Facts.
And yeah. So
yeah, initially, yeah.
That's crazy though.
Yeah, but even once they started saying that, they started linking the puzzle pieces to him automatically. That should have been a red flag. And I don't understand how he was still out there selling out shows, singing about the murder on the damn stage. I don't know.
Wait, hold on. Now, is he a signed artist or is he independent?
No, he's signed. He's signed, and he got bigger numbers than a lot of the major artists out there.
Whoever he signed to probably had some powerful people in certain positions that was able to pull some strings to where he wasn't taken right in. You know what I'm saying?
I think they're getting ready to drop him though.
Like we said before, he wasn't initially.
They still gonna get their money off the nigga while he signed to them. You know what I mean? Like Yeah, we get this tour out the way. We're gonna make
I
our
would
work
have
off you,
sworn.
and then we're gonna drop it.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they do. They don't give a fuck about you. They care about the money. You know, you want to do some BS. You want to kill your girlfriend. That's on you. But we release you.
He kind of dropped himself, but he did and got caught too. So you dropped yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So is it fair? Is it fair that DV4D is taking all of the what's the name? When he did say there's other people that did live at the house while he was on tour. Now the whole thing with TMZ is saying is we don't know when she passed away, and by the way that is looking, he had a burn cage, he had chainsaws. It kind of makes it paint the picture itself. You know what I'm saying?
And who's to say if she was the first one that happened to?
True.
His own was given serial killer vibes.
That's what I'm saying. So he might have actually got away with one before, and now this one just got it up with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't always get caught the first time you start.
Yeah, he'd definitely be in jail. He should not be on anybody's tour or a psychopath. What in the hell is going on?
Yeah, somebody like that, you got to bring.
Even if you had other people living in your house, you like, wow, what type of weird, crazy people do you have in your house? Like that's not.
All right. So we're from New Jersey. And a story hit my timeline that I've been debating on whether I want to talk about it or not. So I'm not going to say the person's name, but it did give me an idea to ask my co-host this question. If you know someone who's 30 dating someone you know you wouldn't be dating at 30, do you mind your business or do you say something to that person?
Okay, now hold up. My first question to you is the person that's not 30, are they at least grown?
Teen.
They're a teen?
Like 17, 18.
Oh, that's still not grown to me. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're 30, that's still not grown. Like 18 is like, yeah, you legally you consider grown, but you still can't even buy liquor. You still can't even legally purchase marijuana. Like it's still, you still got certain things that you can't even do at that age. So for you to be fucking with a 30-year-old at 18, that's just a little crazy to me, though. Especially if that dude ain't trying to like marry you or something like that.
That's
like,
no, and I'm saying something to you. I don't care if he was trying to make that gross. No, it's being.
What about you, some guy?
So a 30-year-old messing with it.
17.
A high school girl, yeah.
You a weirdo, man. You 12 years, like you said, you 12 years out of high school.
Big R. Kelly, my guy.
But the parents know. But the parents know. Hold up. The parents know. The parents know. He's coming to their house to sleep at their house and sleep in their daughter's room with them.
The parents are weirdos too.
Yeah, you're gonna have to fill me in behind the scenes, man. Because I think I got ideas, but I don't know.
Nah, Lady Leo posted it, cuz you seen that. You seen that.
Yeah, who posted it?
Lady Leo. It's about some the DJ dude.
Might be a bit too young.
About the DJ dude.
What?
You didn't see that?
Yeah, I think there's
huh?
There's the age gap.
Yo, yeah. Why you don't say the name?
John, did you see that?
Yo, that already been outed. I've been heard about that for years, bro.
Yeah, but he's still not locked up though.
Yeah, that's old news. That's why he's not even. The last I heard, he lived in North Carolina somewhere. He was trying to be like a cop or some shit.
And that's even worse.
So now he's gonna be a cop doing shit like that to underage girls.
No.
Yeah, why you think he's not in Jersey no more? Because he got so many allegations about that come out. You know what I mean? Like once he wasn't popping no more, that he left. Joffrey's still around, but then Jaffe got allegations about that too. They said,
Yeah, but that's even worse because now you done left. You went somewhere nobody knows your business, and now you just gonna be a pervert wherever you at now. Yeah, that's what these people do. I just jump around and do it everywhere. It's disgusting.
But that's why they was trying to get more podcasters and stuff like that to talk about the story. Because again, if we feel like that someone
because I know people that used to be going to them parties. Like my nephew and them used to be going to the parties back in the day.